व्हाट्सअप गाइस, क्या हाल चाल है। आप सभी लोगों का स्वागत है एक और वॉच पार्टी की लाइव स्ट्रीम पर। दोस्तों आज हम देखने वाले हैं VCT पैसिफिक का इस वैलोरेंट का टूर्नामेंट चल रहा है, उसका हम वॉच पार्टी देखने वाला। आज का खेलने वाले जेनजी वर्सेस PRX का मैच होने वाला है। तो गाइस आपके सामने भी स्क्वाड ये देख पा रहे हैं आप लोग यहाँ पे। एक सेकंड चैट हम दिखाते हैं। ये लोग आपके सामने अब बातें कर रहे हैं, ठीक है। फिलहाल गाइस अभी टाइम है मैच स्टार्ट होने में 20 मिनट्स हैं अभी स्टिल टू स्टार्ट। तो मैं सुनना है गाइस क्या कह रहे हैं ये लोग। भाई ये क्या कर रहे हैं भाई, भाई क्या मतलब। ठीक है भाई, व्हाटएवर जो भी कर रहे हैं भाई ये लोग। हेलो टेक्नोमोड बाय, हेलो आई गॉट बाय, वेलकम टू माय स्ट्रीम गाइस। वेलकम हो गया है आप सभी लोगों का। भाई अपसाइड डाउन खेल रहा है, मार्शल चैलेंज कर रहे हैं भाई। भाई ये मार ही नहीं पा रहा है लिटरली भाई। इससे पहले रोबोट चले जा रहे हैं भाई, इससे पहले रोबोट्स चले जा रहे हैं चैट। जैसा कि तुम देख पा रहे हो ना, इससे पहले चले जा रहा है भाई वो, मतलब इतना फास्ट मतलब ही नहीं कर पा रहा भाई ये। ब्रो एक मूवी फुल पर रिएक्ट करना हमारे साथ लाइव में, ठीक है भाई कर लेंगे। बट वो मूवी है कौन सी ये तो बताएं, तभी तो उसके अंदर की चीजें हम देख पाएंगे ना ब्रो, क्या है क्या नहीं है। ऐसे कैसे हम कर दे कि भाई not bad.
Oh, you're gonna get a tiny S keyboard, I think.
What does it mean? What? Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, rule is here guys.
Where's left click?
Marshall challenge चल रहा है चैट।
Yes, right side. This one, no. It's
They are playing with the Marshall band.
Yeah. Oh, my eyes. Okay, wait.
क्या ये इसमें खेल पाएंगे? इतने छोटे से उसमें खेल यार। कोई हॉरर मूवी लाइव में बात ठीक है यार, वो भी ट्राई करेंगे। आज फिलहाल ये देखते हैं, इसका एक्सेस है अपने पास तो इसलिए हम ये भी चेक करते हैं चैट। यार देखो एक्सेस का फ़ायदा उठाना चाहिए। फिलहाल और कुछ बताएं चैट अपने बारे में यार। आज देखो ये लोग गाइस, देखो ये सारे लोग प्रोफेशनल प्लेयर्स हैं। जो ये बकचोदी कर रहे हैं ना ये लोग, ये सारे प्रोफेशनल प्लेयर है भाई, ठीक है। प्रोफेशनल लोग इधर आके मस्ती कर रहे हैं, आप कह सकते हो चैट। ये लोग पाइप फुल ऑन मस्ती, फुल ऑन जिगास करते हुए चले भाई। देखो अभी स्टार्ट होने वाली है मैच स्टार्ट होने में भी समय लगेगा। टाइमर है, टाइमर इन द फ्रंट। क्या कह रहे हैं? क्या कर रहे हैं? लेफ्ट 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 लेफ्ट, स्टॉप स्टॉप स्टॉप, रेड। ये गाइस PRX की टीम है, पेपर एक्स की टीम है गाइस। PRX बोले तो गाइस पेपर एक्स है फुल फॉर्म उसका। अभी यार देखो कॉम्पी स्टार्ट होने में टाइम है, 13-17 मिनट है अभी। तो जब तक ये लोग मस्ती कर रहे हैं, मजाक कर रहे हैं, तो हम लोग वो एक्सप्लोर कर रहे हैं। वी गॉट इट कर रहे हैं गाइस।
My team explained it well, so
Easy peasy skill chasing. Rule number 4, jump up, time limit 1 minute.
Kaja. 1, 2, 3. Kaja.
गाजा गाजा भाई, खद्दा क्या कह रहा है ये? मेरे को पसंद नहीं आ रहा भाई। भाई क्या कह रहा है? फिलहाल जंप चैलेंज, वाओ
Hey, you played
ये मैंने भी कंप्लीट किया है इसको, ये वाला कोर्स मैंने भी कंप्लीट कर रखा है। काइंड ऑफ क्रेजी कोर्स है ये वाला। ये यहाँ से रोटेट करके इधर जाना है, फिर इसके बाद वापस इधर, हाँ यहाँ से कूद के इधर इस पे, फिर गाइस वो पता है एक सामने की तरफ आपका चर्च है, चर्च के जस्ट टॉप पे जाना है, ऐसा आप कह सकते हो। ये कूल कोर्स गाइस आप गेम के कस्टम वो क्या कहते हैं आप प्रैक्टिस एरिया में कर सकते हो ये आप। जंप जंप जंप, पकड़ लिया। सो गाइस देखो सामने टाइम अप हो गया।
He's already the best here.
We are just the keyboard warrior, you know.
बाय चड्डी बड्डी इंसान है आई गेस।
Challenging and fun. I hope you guys continue supporting us and don't forget to watch our next match.
PRX गाइस क्या जीतेगी आज, क्या लगता है दोस्तों, क्या PRX जीतेगी? इन योर टीम बाय PRX मार्शल चैलेंज 18-9। ये पॉइंट्स टेबल है। ओ माय बॉय, टॉप 5।
Little bit of an added info for Bane. He does get the spot there on the pad. What is that? What?
ये काफी क्रेजी होने वाले हैं मैचेस, मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है। आई फील लाइक दिस इज द क्रेजी मैच। व्हाट अ क्रॉस हेयर, व्हाट अ शॉट मैन, व्हाट अ शॉट ब्रो, व्हाट अ शॉट, आई लाइक इट। यार मेरे को दुधला दुधला क्यों दिख रहा है? जी है जी है जी। ला 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 ला। पैनिक हुआ था यहाँ पे बंदा, काइंड ऑफ पैनिक आप कह सकते हो। हुआ तो था, भयंकर वाला पैनिक हुआ था भाई। गाइस प्लीज अभी सही हो जाए। 4 seconds from PaperX. Now the second top. Zeta A division, PaperX and Zeta. Zeta का थोड़ी, Zeta का तो मैं नहीं याद नहीं यार, Zeta का नहीं है। Zeta क्यों दिखा रहे लोग? Zeta का तो मैच नहीं है आज, बट ये दिखा रहे जैमकिन। Let's go chat. Whoopsie, soupsie, soupsie, poopsie. Oopsie, zoopsie, zoopsie. गाइस आज होने वाली है देखो, ज़ेंजी वर्सेस PRX है, उसके बाद T1 वर्सेस DRX है। तो वो देखने मैच काफी इंटरेस्टिंग होगा कि हु इज गोना विन बाय ज़ेंजी वर्सेस PRX में। गाइस आप किसको सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं प्लीज बताएं हमें। क्या ज़ेंजी को यूज कर रहे हैं या PRX? हु इज गोना गाइस, आप लोग किसको सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं? बताएं बताएं बताएं। किसको सपोर्ट मार रहे चैट आप? किसको 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 किसको? We match macho man, macho man. Manchuman man, Jad, Manchuman. अब ये काफी इंटरेस्टिंग मैच होने वाला है, तो देखने वाली बात होगी कि कौन जीतेगा कौन हारेगा। काइंड ऑफ यार रुको मैं वो लगा देता हूँ, ठीक है। I will place the poll here. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? Gen Z, PRX. Guys, whom you guys support? ठीक है, इस स्ट्रीम को लाइक, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब एंड शेयर कर दे स्ट्रीम को चैट. That will be crazy. मजा आएगा. ठीक है, ठीक है, ओ जी ठीक है. डिंग 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 डिडिंग 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 डिंग 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 डिडिंग डिडिंग डिंग डिंग डिडिंग 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 डिंग डिंग डिडिंग 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 para se utara se उत्तर पारा से ओ शारा पुट्टो. 10 मिनट और बचे चैट यार, अभी भी 10 मिनट और है. 10 मिनट वेट करना पड़ेंगे हमें. क्या खुलेगा जब तक मैं पानी वानी लेके आता हूँ चैट. ठीक है, आप देखो, एंजॉय करो आप सीन्स. आई एम बैक गाइस। पानी वानी लेके हम आ चुके हैं, ठीक है। अब इंजॉय करने के लिए हम रेडी हैं। आप लोग भी जल्दी से आ जाओ, इस स्ट्रीम पे जुड़ जाओ यार, ताकि हम लोग देख सके साथ मिलके टूर्नामेंट वगैरह चेक करेंगे कैसे चलना है। ये उसको ना विन बाय। तुम लोग तो भाई एकदम 50-50 कर दिए यार। कोई क्या ऐसे मतलब कौन कौन गाइस सपोर्ट कर रहा है? जैन को कौन कौन PRX को एक बार चैट में लिख दो यार, मजा आएगा ब्रूज। इट विल बी यू नो अच्छा रहेगा, जानेंगे कौन कौन किसके सपोर्ट में है। लिख दे जरा सा झूमू मैं या तुम। यार देखो 5 मिनट अभी और लगेगा, 5 minutes and 15 seconds left। शुरू होने में मैच। चढ़े तो कभी 5 मिनट और 5 मिनट और बचा, फिर उसके बाद स्टार्ट होगी गेम की सेरेमनी, जिसे आप और मैं एंजॉय करेंगे। अगर आप हैं तो बताएं। ओके wanna be fun। Do you? Where are you, man? Where? La. La. Paparazzi गाइस, स्ट्रीम को लाइक करें, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें। डूपसी 3 मिनट और 22 सेकंड और बचे हैं यार। 3 minutes more left। तुम हो पास मेरे, तुम हो साथ मेरे, How would you like to sit chat? Do you like the stream or not? Tell me, do you want to watch this or not? Tell me in the chats. Tell me in the chat, do you want to watch? Do you want to not? Whatever is your reasoning, tell me. You want to fight, guys? Last 2 minutes left in the start of tournament. Tournament will start in 2 minutes. Let's go. Tournament will be starting in few minutes. Terezi. What the fuck? Why this sound is like cozy. Yo support. Yo You want your pure nasty? Nasty. Crack them down. Whoopsie, zoopsie. Yoopsie. Whoopsie. Crack them down. Wee 30 seconds left. I know last I mean माना कि 30 seconds से ज़्यादा है, कम बचे टाइम, मतलब फिर भी it's okay whatsoever mean. Hi Technomod, welcome back buddy, welcome back. The stream will start and you will find okay guys, तो यहाँ पे start हो चुकी है, ठीक है। क्या मेरे को ऑडियो गाइस ऑडियो प्रॉपर आ रही है या नहीं आ रही है, प्लीज बताना मेरे को। सो अगर ऑडियो प्रॉपर नहीं होगी तो आई विल चेक करके मैं उसको ठीक कर देंगे। फिलहाल ये कुछ तो साउंड्स देते हैं। यहाँ पे कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग सी वाइब कह सकते हो यार है। नाइस ग्राफिक्स भाई। बेसिकली पता क्या है, वैलोरेंट का स्टोरी मोड लाइन दिखा रहे हैं यार, वैलोरेंट का स्टोरी मोड लाइन दिखा रहे हैं। लाइक भाई कूल वाइब्स है यार। अभी ये बैचेगा वैलो खेलने के लिए। यस देखा, ये बुलेट चप्पल आया, उड़ता हुआ चप्पल आया मम्मी की तरफ से, उड़ता हुआ चप्पल। व्हाट्स गोइंग ऑन? ओके ये लॉकेट भाई क्या है ये? हमें स्पाइक डिफ्यूज कर रहे। वाओ दिस इज डैम कूल। अरे Ace or what baby? Nice. This locket teleport or what? Oh nice way. I like it. I like this. चढ़ गई सवारी, चल दी अपने घर को, निकल गई बाहर। सवारी अपने सामान की खुद जिम्मेवार होगी, ऐसा कह रहे लोग। Let's hunt them down. यार गाइस स्ट्रीम को लाइक, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दो यार, ठीक है? मजा आ जाएगा अगर आप करते हैं तो। मजा तो है, क्यों चैट? मजा है ना? You want to be fight, your man, you want to fight. Well. आने से उसके आए बाहर, जाने से उसके जाए बाहर। Guys, we have Chubby Ninja, Quack and Achilles.
Been like up there, and because of that I had to go.
हाँ भाई,
I had to
बातें
buy the
सुने
bundle,
इनकी।
like that very night.
I hope you all did too. It's well worth it.
I'm glad you guys paid up. Very good. People of your word, that's good to see. But I mean, it was an incredible series. You know, it's one of those ones where you walk away from it and you can't excuse it as a fluke. You know, it was like the second when Billy beat Energy the second time. You said like, you know what? This wasn't just a random occurrence. They just have the read on them. Shout out to FNS. You probably go through right now. But it was just so damn clean from the side of DFM. It was amazing to see.
Yeah, it was a brilliant way to end it. We saw a lot of unexpected events generally all weekend, but that one, to close it off that way, I mean.
La 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 la.
Now we're going to talk about schedules. We're only on week 2. We got 4 weeks total, so we're on week 2 right now, and today is going to be pretty insane.
Yep.
But let's break it down. What does this all mean? We got a couple weeks leading to playoffs.
Who knows, guy? What's
Every
couple of
week,
mean?
the teams are going to play off against each other, and the top 3 teams from each group will actually make it to playoffs. And then, of course, everyone wants to go
Crazy.
That's assuming that we have 3 teams from a certain.
You want to see?
Playoffs because it's still a bit of a struggle for the teams in the Alpha group. So unless they can get those
Back and forth
victories
sound
minimum,
quality.
who knows? Might have a couple more teams squeaking their way in from Omega.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, we
Yes.
didn't think DFM was going to be, you know, we didn't know how it was going to be. DFM was literally
Papalaro
the
yun
Omega group, and they
dei
did not
si
let
andore
their Omega brothers down.
It's just only Ching
Keep
Ching
going,
that have been able to get a win here today. I mean, if they can get a second one, they'll be in the clear to be able to make it in the playoffs effectively.
It is going
Unless,
to
of
be
course, they do
fun.
get overtaken by some of the other teams. But yeah,
In my
it's
opinion,
been
guys, it's
struggle
going
streak
to be
right now for
fun.
every other squad here in Alpha.
Yeah, it has been. And why are these points so important? Let's recap again. I mean, yes, you do need to make the playoffs, and you do need to make a finals to qualify for Shanghai, but what are these points for?
I mean, you gotta collect all of these championship points in order to make it to Champions Seoul, Korea. If you don't make it, then you're just not gonna be able to qualify for the big tournament at the end of the year, and that's ultimately what every team is playing for. So every single match really counts, and not only that, you need a minimum of at least 2 wins. So that's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, a couple teams, you know, judging maybe with a shot to get that second win.
Couple
today,
of
but already
teams,
in second
couple of
firmly, you know,
teams.
wielding that +3, having been the winners of kickoff. Obviously, you know, had they been able to close out the
Who's
final,
gonna win,
they
Chad?
would have had another 3 points, a couple of the points there from the side of Masters.
Who's
which
gonna
meant
win? Who's
So
gonna
close.
win?
more that
Like,
could be
why?
grabbed over in Shanghai, but every single series that these teams do play, if they're able to get that win, it is going to give them points. So,
Zenzia 4 points, DRX have 2 points, Zeta 1 point, Talon 1 point,
First match win.
championship points 1 point, 1 point, 1 point, 0 point, 0 0 0 0 3 3 3 8 8 8.
And to see them up on this list above the likes of Bleed, Secret, T1, it's just like, damn, what's been happening?
भाई
But I
काफी
mean, they've changed a lot of things of this year. Yes, it was a bit of a surprise, but yeah, they've changed a lot of things. A lot of those teams, not every team played twice, so I think we're going to be finding a little bit, we're going to have a little bit of a better idea of who is going to be inching closer to champions after this particular weekend. And last week, the last 4 days that they were playing, these are the top 5 ACS. Not surprising, except that May's on top, and there's not Jing.
And I was going to say, like, the company that he's in, I think that you would have anticipated to see, you know, maybe Saya player, maybe, you know, Forsaken up in this rank, something as well. The fact that May comes in here, all the other names, not shocking at all to see the performance they put up. But May just was so dominant. I mean, that's his ACS across all the maps played. Absolutely impeccable performance. I mean, he almost dropped 30 in the opening map, went to 29. It was just a crushing performance the whole way throughout. And I mean, those tears of joy that were shed on stage were absolutely earned through his efforts.
Very genuine, very real, and you can see how strong he is with those clips. I mean, every single bit he's aiming out of his mind with some of these flicks, and that's why it's such a big thing that he's like right up next to Depp, for example, because Depp has been that star duelist for the whole time, like especially for the Japanese region, and May now being another player up there. This team is definitely one to look out for.
I mean, his race was looking so crazy. I think May saw that Jing was coming back, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna take the mantle of best raise away from you," because that was the level of performance we were seeing from him.
Now, we're also looking at who got an ace last weekend. Yeah, we had multiple aces going on, but here are some like key ones. Lenny only played 1 map, I believe. Or was it 2 maps?
cheeky smile kind of tells always like, oh, maybe I'm pretty good at this thing. But this is just Forsaken doing Forsaken things for the most part. I mean, the number of aces that we saw him collect last year was just fairly astronomical. But it was also good to see the likes of NDG be able to come out and really start finding his footing here. That opening series that we saw from him was a bit wishy-washy, looking a bit more nervous on stage. Going to that second set, he looked a hell of a lot better.
So much more comfortable. Hey, you were casting this one, Achilles.
I was.
Champion with the ace. I mean, what more can you expect? And he was one of the reasons why RQ was able to come back out on top against Team Secret. That map went all the way. Onto this one, though. I mean, granted, a little bit of an anti-ego against Genji, but an ace with the Ares. I think that's pretty impressive, and Lenny knew exactly where to position himself for those kills.
I'm not going to lie, I forgot it was with an Ares, and I think we should strip him of that.
Well, why?
Oh, yes, we got the
What's wrong with you?
anti-machine gun guy here.
Come on.
Any ace with something that you could just basically spray and pray with, I think it should.
Get out.
Judge aces as well, they don't count.
Why not?
It's dishonest gameplay.
Well, Chad, you can tell us what you think, if you agree or not. I'm inclined to agree. I think it's cool when I see it happen.
Show me
but,
things like the util usage from Ye's ace. Show me the headshot accuracy coming through from Forsaken. Show me that kind of stuff. I don't want to see an Ares just go and then let my people fall over.
I think, maybe it's not like super impressive aim stuff, but you gotta be smart enough to know where to put yourself in those situations.
To be fair, it is harder, I think, to get an ace because you do need to know exactly where they're going to be. You can only pray so much.
But that's with any gun. Well, whatever. I'll drop it. It's
Alright.
fine.
We can talk about this later. Weekly schedule. Today's matchup is going to be absolutely insane. We'll go more into that later, but you can see why. It's all the Korean teams in PRX. Then for the rest of this week, what other games are you guys looking forward to? I'm definitely looking forward to tomorrow with Secret and Zeta facing off one more time since their play-ins rather. That was a rather intense game, and both of these teams are sort of like in that middling area. And I actually a lot of these guys, I want to see how they surface this week too.
I think that one is a good one, but the one that I'm looking at a little bit more is maybe Zeta versus Bleed. We were kind of teeing it up when we were on the analyst desk talking about, okay, this kind of return of the chamber for Zeta Division. Last incredible on it. We've got Bleed going up against them. Do we see them lean into Yay Chamber? I think it'll widely come down to whatever the map pool is going to be for both teams, because it's not like Laz just kind of, ham-fisted shoves that chamber into the mix every single time. But that's the prospect of that is something that's very enticing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Carlisle, like you said here at the desk, was very okay with greenlighting that chamber. Now today's match up, we got T1 and DRX. We got the the Korean powerhouses, but we got the ultimate Korean powerhouse Genji, at least currently, refacing PaperX. This will be what, the 4th time?
Yeah, I think they played in kickoffs. But PaperX actually beat them in the group stage of kickoffs, and then lost in the grand finals. Masters Madrid was another one, so this would have been the 4th. I guess the current powerhouses, maybe PaperX can take over.
It was their origin story actually with Genji, but we're gonna go over to that interview now with Jen.
Now, first time facing PRX with Jake, how are you feeling? Still confident, scared? we can get our revenge. So, yep.
So Device, starting today, PaperX goes undefeated.
Genji, undefeated.
What? Yo, man, just saying how it is. For now, again, we don't know how this may go, but here is the PaperX roster to date here in Pacific. They are now the only team who has a completely unaltered roster from last year.
From last year, I think Genji, since kickoffs and masters, they've been pretty much the same and still that good. PaperX now, we've got Jing returning. They are trying to reintegrate this star player into the whole roster. I think that takes a little bit of time, but safe to say, since their performance from last week against T1, they were pretty darn strong. Jing was actually the highest rated player in that series.
Yeah, I mean, it was a strong performance, but I think you could still kind of see the cracks were showing a little bit in that set. It wasn't that full comfort we're used to from this squad from last year. So it's going to take a little bit more to fully reintegrate him, as Alex was talking about. They only had about 5 days of prep to really dive in. So as far as building up new strategies, new compositions, anything like that PaperX were showing us during kickoff and over at Madrid, there just hasn't been time for them to get enough iterations through to where it makes sense.
Now we're looking at the head-to-head between these two teams, and the reason we have Jing up there is because this is the score between these two teams before Jing got reintroduced back into PaperX's 1-1. Yeah, was still on the roster. I hope this is encouraged the team.
But I mean, yeah, it's a good point to bring up. It's something that we're all thinking about. Will the reintegration of Jing really give PaperX that boost in firepower that they need? This starred race duelist, with the movement coming back in, will that give PaperX enough of an edge to beat Gen G?
We'll have to just wait and see. We know what kind of firepower Jing can bring to the table, what he is capable of. I'm curious to see the form of, widely the rest of the team. Is Mind Freak and just pop off moves? Is he just going to be absolutely destroying people, getting these crazy clutches that we know he's capable of? Does something have a hot start, or is it going to take a little bit to try to warm him up? Do we have to wait for that coach intervention to really start getting PaperX rallied? That's what I want to see, because I think out the gate, both teams, they had a little bit of a slow start in their opening series, but that's to be expected. They just recently had gotten back, competing in Madrid, playing through an immense amount of matches to be able to get into those top 3 finishes that they both had. So it was going to take a little bit for them to just get comfortable again back on Korean soil.
Yeah, not to mention Forsaken was just recovering from a bit of an
Yeah, he was
illness
sick.
as well, but he was still able to frag out of his mind, getting cases.
Yeah, he was MVP with a Cypher on Lotus, but it's Forsaken after all. What I do not want to see from PaperX though is these hero moments. While they're so cool for the highlight reels, we don't want to see any of that, because then it's really hard to, for them to go in too much further when you're relying solely on hero plays. And I don't know, maybe that is part of the PaperX branding. Now we're looking at Texture and Jing. I am so curious about today to see this match up between these two guys.
Yeah, I mean, that's where things are going to get really spicy. I mean, one of the maps that you really would love to see in the pool is something like Split, where that double duelist also comes in for the side of Gen G. Get Meteor versus something on the Jet battle, Texture versus Jing on the Rays, and just really see who's going to be able to take over. I think that there's so many things that are just tantalizing to think about when it comes down to this matchup, and it's kind of a blessing that it's already the 3rd time we get to see it this year, or no, the 4th time this year. Sorry. It's gonna be sick.
It's going to be super sick, and I know a lot of people are excited. The stadium's actually full. It's packed to the brim for these two matchups today. Now we're looking at the historical data between these two teams and their map ban picks just for this year. And you can see PaperX is not a fan of Icebox and Breeze, especially early on. I think we saw that kickoff early on at Breeze. They're like, we're going to stop playing Breeze.
Yeah, I mean, Icebox, I'm thinking of, when I think PaperX Icebox, I think about CTRS coming in and playing Echo. Way before Echo was even thought
PaperX is. Wait, they chose Icebox. This is.
Yes.
I hope it's not another troll pick. Because the last time they picked Icebox, it was a troll pick.
I don't know. Look at Alex. It doesn't seem like it's a troll pick, unless he's thinking something in his head with that
Does he
smile.
look like it's a troll face? I don't know.
Okay, I have many questions. Genji are doing the Genji thing and taking their time though with the second ban.
So
Yeah,
whoever is
I think-
tuning in for this match, you're gonna have some good stuff
They're
happening.
kind of stunned. They're
Well,
like,
this is the
why
thing.
Icebox?
Yeah, that's a big question for me. But also, what do you want to ban here as Genji? I mean, PaperX with Jing on the roster, that's not where they've been
I'd
running like
say-
the crazy, triple duels or anything like that on split. So
Binds, perhaps. You know, like.
showing him the walk, calling time. This isn't a poker table, Alex.
Wow. Oh, they went and banned split.
Oh, no split? Okay.
Because maybe like
Maybe
anticipating the triple duels.
Yeah, actually, maybe with Jing, the triple duel
Right,
is,
that Euro
could be
competition
viable.
that they had, that was something that Genji struggled with a little bit. But
Yeah.
then, you have to ban and say, yes, thank you, Alex.
So bind for the last map. I mean,
Oh.
Okay.
Bari, look, I think really just depending on how this icebox looks and what they have ready to go, this feels pretty heavily weighted towards PaperX's favor, to be honest, as far as the map draft is concerned, just at a glance.
Even with Icebox?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it hinges
Because they
on that.
Because they
But
picked Icebox.
Lotus, I think
Yeah.
these teams can go blow for blow. The bind, I think a little bit more yet to be determined for Gen G as far as what their overall strength is going to look like on that map. But PaperX, well enough first on it historically,
So if
I feel like they
Icebox
have a slight edge here.
Yeah.
Why are we still on this? Are they like, are you sure about this?
I'm picking this
Oh,
aside.
yeah, okay. I thought they were like, you sure this is.
But it takes a
Your
while
final
because
pick.
you want to be very careful about which side you start on, especially against a team like PaperX.
I'm buying too.
The other thing is, yeah, and Gen G electing to go for attack side first on bind. So I'm really curious what they're going to have for that. This is going to be interesting. It is worth noting, I should say, that we do have the PaperX
Oh, I love this so much.
gun up here. It's only we would have both, but the Korean desk had to take the Gen G one. And we only
Oh.
have
They're
one.
happy to
We only
take
have
that
one
one.
copy of each gun, but these things look so clean.
They look really, yeah, they're great.
And they're on display downstairs. Like
Yeah.
the
Maybe we can
fans
fire
can
We
them.
have
go up
Yes.
to the.
all 11 teams are on display, but we decided to steal the 2 teams that are playing at any given time and split them amongst the analyst desks.
That's right. That's cool. This is really cool, guys. And if you want to see it up close, you can buy it in VALORANT,
That's true.
the bundle, and
In
then you
Va-
can stare at it.
What about
And the
in
Gen
real
G
life?
one. We have
And
to
the
be
Gen G.
bipartisan here.
Absolutely. And which is also a great bundle with the tiger and everything. Predictions. What's it gonna be?
Well,
I think this is a healthy mix, and
This is
I
a
think
very
that that's
healthy
good to see because we have had some pretty landslide predictions in the past couple matches, and I think that this is pretty much the first map that really is a 50-50 at a really high level.
So why Genji?
yes, that's the question.
I mean, it just I think strictly because of just recency bias. They've been able to best them the most recent times that they scored off against each other. Yes, Jing does come back in, and overall, I think that the team looked good, but I think that they have way more catching up to do compared to Gen G. Both teams just recently got back from travel. Gen G only need to focus on resting for the most part, whereas PaperX need to focus on both resting, having Jason not be sick,
Yep.
and then also, developing, creating new set plays, new strategies that they're going to have going into these maps. So I think that they have more work to do with way less time.
For me, it's kind of like a pure faith pick, but also I feel like PaperX is a team that would have tricks up their sleeves, so I'm kind of hoping to see that. But I'm a little bit more curious, for Kilios. After seeing this map pick, after seeing Icebox coming in, would you, kind of flip flop a little bit?
I mean, the fact that they, don't that they go to Icebox, I think it does lend itself to thinking that PaperX have something up their sleeve, that they're going to be doing
PaperX.
something incredible. But I'm still going to go with Gen G. I mean, they showed their perseverance. I think again that Lotus is a little bit of a toss-up. I think it's a bold choice.
Okay.
But
I want you to finish your statement after we invite Coach Alex up here with us, so
With
you
the
can
coach.
explain
By all
yourself.
Right here.
So let's welcome Coach Alex from PaperX.
Yes, please. Wow,
Our
he's
favorite
like
coach.
getting ready, dude.
Hi. Welcome back.
You like the Xbox football?
We
Yeah.
love it.
Was that a troll pick? Like last time you picked it was a troll pick. It was a
No,
mistake,
it's not
right?
a troll pick. Like last time.
Well,
practice,
yeah, well.
Practice for 5 weeks, and then they told us Xbox is
Wow,
not
yeah,
but
wow.
we had to pick it.
Okay.
So it's a integrity
This
thing.
is
It's
the
the
coach.
map pool this time, just so you know.
Yeah, so now it's slightly better prepared.
did you know at that time that when he played Gecko there that it was going to end up being the meta on
Oh,
Icebox?
but, okay, but
Cause in your opinion, who's gonna win? Tell me.
Gecko, like,
You're a
love Gecko.
genius.
I want to know your
You're so smart.
Not me.
responses.
It's
He's
okay.
actually the one that's created the Gecko meta. The
Who's
That's
gonna
true.
win, chat?
He's
only
really-
Gecko main.
That's true.
Whereas,
Now, thoughts on Achilles' Gen G prediction?
you know, I'm a superstitious guy, so, and I'm not a stats guy, but I need to know your hit rate.
I have to go off the recency. I think that you guys have had your hands full with needing to reintegrate Jing into the team. You know, one of the things we talked about last time you were on the desk was, do we expect anything new? The answer is no. We've had 5 years of practice. You know,
कितना बोलते हैं लोग? कुछ और बता दो यार. कोच का इंटरव्यू चल रहा है आज. जब तक गैस आप लोग अपने बारे में कुछ बताओ यार. इधर कोच का इंटरव्यू चल रहा है. चैट से समथिंग इन द चैट so we can talk.
This as well, so it's quite fair. In fact,
I want to ask you about the results in Madrid. Yeah, you guys got third, which was awesome. But I think you guys seem a little bit unsatisfied with those results too. What were some of the learnings from Madrid against
alright. I'm quite satisfied.
you? Are you? Okay, I was mistaken.
No, I mean, Madrid. I think we went there a little bit low confidence, you know, and we were trying to fix our mindset mostly. So I think getting the third, we managed to get match practice in, you know, get stuff out of the way, like discuss each other, try to make sure that we are aligned again. I think we took a step in the right direction there. So as far as I'm concerned, very satisfied for whatever happened.
Do you think Gen G's improved since Madrid, based on the performance you saw last week?
Yeah, you can really see them adding things in their Lotus. In Madrid, some teams are using specific Viper monies to control your main from defense side. As soon as they came back, I can see them only in their game against Talent, so I know they're actually still working the map pool. And I think, yeah, if they pick Lotus against us, I think they know that that's the strongest map.
I am a little bit curious about Lotus, but I do think that picking Icebox is like 200 IQ genius move. But if there is anything to watch out for Gen G, like what would you say that is? Like what's their
On Icebox
strongest
or in
thing?
general?
In general.
I mean, they're coming off like full confidence, you know. Sure, you lose the finals, but I thought it was very, very close. You know, it could have gone either way. It's enough to give you the boost you need, you know, to say, okay, I'm coming back to my region. The game should be easier, and we've beaten PRX twice, you know. So I think we're gonna play against a very confident Gen G, and I'm hoping that we fight them, you know. I hope there's gonna happen like a brawl.
I have one last question. This is actually for both of you.
Another one.
How's your day going?
Well, it's going great.
Oh, good.
Yeah, did go great for both of us.
Just want to catch up. Make sure everyone's just vibing.
So far, so
Yeah.
good. So far, so good.
Doing good?
Any stress eating so far today?
Stress eating?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, good.
I'm on diet now, you know.
How are you? That's great. I love to hear that. Well, thank you so much, Coach. All the best.
Bye bye.
Kamsahamnida. Kamsahamnida.
So much respect. I love it.
Yeah. I did want to ask about Jing, but he's got to go down to coach. And I'm curious how Jing is going to be performing this time. I think you made a great point about Jing's performance. While phenomenal, there were shaky moments in his gameplay.
Yeah, and I think I think that we expected that whether it was a roster change or not, given that the teams were traveling back from Madrid. But I think that roster change just kind of compounded and added on to what would have been fairly normal shakiness that you see, post event. So I think it is going to be a stronger team coming into this. I like Alex talking about Lotus right there, saying like, okay, we do have to be a little bit concerned about this, even though it's a very comfortable map for us. When Gen G are going to be picking that into us, they clearly feel very confident on it, and I think that goes the opposite side for that Icebox pick. So this could just end up being neither team wins on their map pick, but we go to 3. I very well could see that happening.
I would love to kind of see that happening. I feel like Gen G's Lotus is really strong, but I am curious about what the agent picks would be because Icebox coming in then, Jing, is it going to be still that Raze or back to a Sage, a Battle Sage? What's it going to be?
Well, we're going to find out really soon. We're going to go down to the stage to welcome the players.
It's the rematch, the pride of Gauntlet to try to buy back the hearts of the Korean fans.
Here is the gender squad. The PRX squad.
These teams have had to square up against each other multiple times, including at Masters Madrid. So this is really, really interesting. You know, with PayPerX, going back to what worked for them previously last year when they got second at Champs with Jing in the lineup, you know, it's going to be really exciting. It's going to be high-octane gameplay for sure. But Genji, in my opinion, does a pretty good job of managing some of those teams that try to get aggressive against them, that try to push space, that a team like PayPerX is definitely going to try to embody. Like PayPerX is a team
up from Masters Madrid. But now with PRX just peering into the notes against Gen G, how well can they adapt in game? We will kick off map 1 of this best of 3. It's a rematch of the kickoff finals, and it could be a preview of upcoming finals as well in the future. Gen G on defense versus PRX on attack.
No doubt, a duel of the fates, it seems to feel like, for 2024. So very excited to see exactly how this is all going to shape out. And already kind of a different look here for Gen G on this pistol round. 3 right down to B. Ooh. And I think they have a pretty decent read on what PRX likes to do. You're going to see this. These 3 in
Oh
particular.
boys, the matches started. The matches now begin. The matches begin now.
The combos here really,
Now
really
the pistol round is
with,
going to be
the
started,
haunt
guys,
into the
in
paranoia,
few
the
seconds.
blast packs, the smokes are
3,
really well placed by
2,
Karan.
1, and the pistol round is
I'm so impressed with the
started.
way Karan plays Omen.
Yeah, I mean,
Now-
he's really grown into one of his own, and it's going to be a read, but Jing's going to
Hello, Arkajavis boy. Hello, क्या चल रहा है? Arkajavis boy, welcome to my stream, boy. क्या हाल है? कैसे हो यार आप? Chavis bro, competitive? Yes, ये this is going on. Tournament देख रहे हैं हम. Watch party चल रही है bro. अगर watch party देखना है तो आप जुड़ सकते हैं. आप रहें स्ट्रीम पे. Watch party चल रही है bro. Watch party देख रहे हैं हम.
Really highly considering a full-on C exec.
Yeah, but despite the heals, of course, not all topped up just yet. Munchkin, can he get the nice shots in through? And the poison cloud comes
Oh
up
my
with
God, what a
Forsaken.
shot.
He still
What a
somehow crouches
shot.
through, continues moving forward, dodges the bullets, and now Texture. I mean, it's a 2v3.
View.
No real point of waiting for back. He's got to dwindle the numbers.
वॉच
but he's
पार्टी
made
इस पे कॉपीराइट नहीं आएगा ना. भाई इस पे आएगी, लेकिन वॉच पार्टी का एक्सेस लेना पड़ता है. आपको लेना पड़ेगा एक्सेस.
crossfires all the way through. But a nice headshot.
What a shot. What a shot. Now third पे पिट गया ये. And now
will recover the pistol round for a 1-0 lead.
ओके यस आके जाओ भाई. इसका एक्सेस लेना पड़ता है, अदरवाइज आपको कॉपीराइट आएगा. एक्सेस इसके लिए फॉर्म वगैरह भरना पड़ता है, आपको लेना पड़ेगा VCT Pacific से. आपको शॉट इज गुड.
Certainly, Mind Freak trying to do what he can, but Gen G there, well read, even though they lose that opening.
Replay,
Jing
bro,
just gets a drive-by with the frenzy. And even though they're able to
ओके
get
ये
off
सब तो
early,
प्रो प्लेयर है. हाँ आके जाए भाई, तभी तो यार इनसे देख के सीखने को मिलता है काफी चीजें. कैसे ये लोग शॉट मारते हैं. रिफ्लेक्सेस इनके ज्यादा हाई हैं. मे भी ऐसे भी कह सकते हो कि यार इनके वो ज्यादा हाई है.
such a difficult player to deal with.
And that's exactly who PRX
रिफ्लेक्सेस तो हाई है ये इनके, बट एट द सेम टाइम इनके डिवाइसेस भी भाई बहुत हैवी ऐसे है. आप ऐसे कह सकते हो, इनके डिवाइसेस बहुत ज्यादा क्रेजी है भाई.
And now took a little bit of damage on the side of Forsaken, but of course with the sheriffs,
Whoa,
they're just looking
whoa,
for these
whoa,
one
whoa.
taps. They've pushed C, they pushed B. Now setting their sights onto
Push
the A
me,
side,
push
pushing
me, push
Karon
me,
back
push
on
me.
a timing.
And he's gonna have a smoke back.
मुझे क्या मैं तो ये गेम से संन्यास ले लिया. अरे ऐसा क्यों, संन्यास क्यों और व्हाट? क्या संन्यास वगैरह लेने की क्या जरूरत थी भाई?
Yeah, I mean, especially with the eco, especially with
हाँ
PRX,
यार.
Texture not going to greet it either. They recognize the push has come
हमने
through.
तो
Karon just
संन्यास
gonna
नहीं
look
लिया.
to hold
एक्चुअली
close
हमारा
quarters
तो
with the
सिस्टम
Spectre.
में ही
Stuck
रही
on
नहीं रन
tree,
कर
but
रहा है.
look at
क्रैश
this.
हो रही है
Gen G
गेम बार बार.
already aware of the
तो
possibility
क्या ही
of a
कर
rotate
सकते हैं.
back into B. Meteor, he's been blinded,
वरना
but
तो
now
हम
he's
तो
got a
चाहते हैं
sight back.
खेलना.
Lakia there, but still a 1-for-1, 2-for-2
हम तो
trade
इसे
for
खेलना
PRX.
चाहते हैं,
Pushing
लेकिन
heaven, picking
खेल
up
नहीं
weapons.
पा रहे
Texture
because of the
recognizes the danger, has to keep them at bay.
चीजें.
Now it's all three members of Gen G pinching onto the site. Karon takes care of one. The double of PRX stuck on heaven. Texture just keeping them at bay until his teammates are able to pinch in. Defy gets a kill on the drop. Karon hoping for backup from Texture, and they'll both get a kill each at the same time, recovering the anti-eco.
Great patience at the end from Gen G. This is something that has made them so
रॉकेट लीग
successful
ट्राई
this
किया.
year.
नहीं रॉकेट लीग नहीं ट्राई किया अभी हमने. रॉकेट लीग हम नहीं खेले.
When there's at least a couple players left.
कहोगे
The
तो
trades are
ट्राई कर
great,
लेंगे,
the flight
लेकिन
timings are
रॉकेट लीग
really,
मैंने
really
खेला
good.
है.
That
इतना
makes the
खास
communication
मजा
really
नहीं
good
आता है.
for Gen G. A great paranoia from Mind
I
Freak to
tried
bust
for
this
रॉकेट
open,
लीग,
a
बट
couple
इतना
great
कुछ
shots
खास मजा
to
नहीं
back
आता
it
है
up.
रॉकेट लीग में.
Left.
तो क्या करें हम.
Meteor very uncomfortable there. Karon there working that Spectre very nicely against the Guardian. Not giving
यार
it really
अगर हो
much
तो फिर
opportunity.
मजा भी आए
To find
रॉकेट
an
लीग
easy
में.
headshot from that angle. So well played by him, buying
बाकी
time
आप
as well.
बताओ
So
क्या
very
चल रहा है.
nice for Gen G. So they get the expected win, but still
I
a
hope
decent amount of
everything
damage
will
done
be
here
fine
by
out
PRX
there.
leaves it on only you know, a couple Guardians, some Ghosts, Ghost and 2 Sheriffs.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
lost a Bulldog and a Guardian, right? Bought triple Guardians there to try to really snowball things forward as both teams.
मैं वो गेम खेला था, उसका एक शॉट डाला था, वो हाईलाइट शॉट, ओ नाइस। कैसा लगा फिर गेम खेल के? अच्छा लगा, मजा आया? या फिर कुछ प्रॉब्लम, मतलब ऐसे यार उसमें पता है गोल करना थोड़ा सा मुश्किल होता है, और कोई बात नहीं है। आप गोल करते हो ना, गोल करने में ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम आती है उसके अंदर। गेम सही है, कॉम्पी वाला फील आता है भाई, कॉम्पी वाला फील तो आएगा ही। तिलक लगा के सेक्सी लग रहा भाई, मम्मी ने लगाया था, आज वैसे भी हुआ है ना, आपको पता ही है वो चल रहा है नवरात्रि, तो नवरात्रि में माते ने लगाया था, मातश्री ने हमारे लगाया था। By the way, और कुछ बताएं आप?
And it's just Meteor, who doesn't actually have a weapon either, so he'll have to go for whatever damage he can get, trying to isolate the 1v1s. He gets one. Oh, I thought he might be able to get two. Of course, the spike's still taken down. It's going to be
हाँ, कॉम्पी वाला फील तो आएगा ही ना भाई। क्या मेरा माइक सही से काम कर रहा है? कर तो रहा होगा। ये तो गिरे ही जा रहा है, पता नहीं किधर को जा रहा है, बस गिर रहा है। कॉम्पी वाला फील तो इसमें भी आ रहा है। क्या कहोगे अभी, बताओ आप? कॉम्पी वाला फील तो इधर भी आ रहा है। संदीप महेश्वरी, पेंट अल्फा महेश, भाई क्या बात कर रहे हैं यार हैं? मैं संदीप सच में ऐसा क्या? हाँ जी,
PayPRX doesn't want to mess with this right now. They're going to wait things out, spread the map
again. Tries to reposition on timing there, and something will get the peak. I mean, Munchkin recognizing that he didn't really have an exit, want to get close to one side or the other, but he will be picked off. That forces Gen G to
कुछ तो तुम्हारा मैसेज फिर से वो हो गया। अभी तो गेम नहीं खेल रहा, तो मैं देख सकता हूँ। आपका मैसेज कुछ तो हाइड हो गया है, उसके दिख रहे आज। ओह, ऐसा सीन है जारुद भाई, रियली? हाँ जी, वाओ यार, रियल,
all alive, spike down, and looking forward.
शुक्रिया शुक्रिया। आप इतनी तारीफ कर रहे हो, माय गॉड, यकीन नहीं हो रहा। आप ही हो या कोई और है? हाँ ब्रो, आप ही हो ना, या कोई और है? हाँ जी, मास्टर, अरे मैं ही हूँ। अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, ओके ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है। ऐसे करो लाइव तैयार होकर भाई, मतलब रोज मैं तैयार हो भाई, मतलब क्या कहना क्या चाहते हो यार, कि मतलब आपके हिसाब से मेरा रोज का क्या रूटीन है फिर? हैं ब्रो, आपके हिसाब से फिर मेरा रोज का रूटीन क्या है, बताएं जरा आप। इन योर ओपिनियन, एक मिनट लाइव चेक। आज ज्यादा अच्छे लग रहे हैं। अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, यार इतना मक्खन पालिश क्यों लगा रहे हैं? क्या सीन, मतलब हो सकता है लाइट को चेंज किया होगा। ठीक है भाई, ठीक है। और कुछ, और क्या कहना चाहेंगे आप? नजर ना लग जाए, काजल लगा लो। हम खुद ही काले हैं यार, काजल की क्या जरूरत है? हम खुद ही काले हैं भाई। देखिए इतना बड़ा वो लगा रखा है मुंह के सामने, क्या ही कर लेंगे हम।
I mean, PayPRX, they recognize that if no one's pushing Rubble after that utility, somewhere else there has to be more info.
शुक्रिया, और कुछ है बताए?
Forsaken is going to have a great time to take over B side as the rest of the main force is starting to pressure A, drawing out a lot of utility from the defending team. During this, Forsaken on the minimap, checking out the entry points into B. Will he have a timing? Meteor has his eyes set, but PayPRX, they just want to realize with the number of utility flying into A.
मैं जा रहा, थोड़ा काम है। ओके बाय, ठीक है, जाएं, बाय बाय, थैंक यू फॉर joining the stream. अच्छा लगा आप आए stream पे. शुक्रिया for coming on my live stream.
This could be a bit danger. PRX recognizing that.
बाकी बंदे सही खेल रहे हैं भाई, बढ़िया खेलते हैं भाई, एकदम ऐसे तोड़ू फोड़ू खेलते हैं लोग. नौ मतलब ऐसे ऐसे शॉट मारते हैं ना भाई, हिल जाओगे आप देख के, ऐसे ऐसे शॉट मारते हैं लोग. गाइस स्ट्रीम को लाइक करें, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें. यस if you are new to guys my live stream, please hit that subscribe करना नहीं भूलें. फिलहाल तो अब पिटाई हो रही है. भाई तो खेलने तो आई है भाई, खेलना तो चाहिए इनको टीम के साथ, स्क्वाड के साथ. ओके चलो गुड बाय. अरे गुड बाय क्यों भाई, बाय बाय करो, मिल फिर से वापस आओ भाई. ऐसे कैसे मतलब भाई, बाय बाय गुड बाय, ऐसा लग रहा है भाई हमेशा हमेशा के लिए जा रहे हैं. गुड बाय कर रहे हैं. थोड़ा सा like क्या गाइस फिलहाल ये जिस जेन ने ये सेलेक्ट किया है, ये वाला मैच जेनजी ने सेलेक्ट कर रखा है, लोटस मैप. बट एट द सेम टाइम भाई ये लोग ही पीट रहे हैं भाई, पता नहीं क्यों. आई डोंट नो भाई, यही लोग पीट रहे हैं. Bye bye. Interesting matches going on, chat. Interesting matches going on.
Still, Karan couldn't quite get him in time. So tricky to deal with.
यहाँ तो जान वाली.
Ooh, the dink through the wall there by Texture.
Doing some damage, but there's just so much to get through. You don't have much space to work with. Lakia will still be able to fire back against Jing, but a lot of that timer is already run down. The spike ticking away. They're still going to go for a Prowler on pressure for Texture to run in. Seemingly want to take advantage of that low health on the dink. And it's going to Texture. He lands just onto the tripwire. And at this point, Lakia, he doesn't have
अरे याद है हमको यार, निराश कहाँ हो रहे हैं हम, निराश नहीं हो रहे. मोटिवेशन हो याद है ना. अरे हाँ भाई हम मोटिवेशन है, पता है, निराश नहीं हो रहे, बस पूछ रहे यार. गुड बाय.
It's really interesting because
interesting gun bullet or knife की what बा मतलब उसके हाथ से देखे नाइफ कितनी जल्दी गन में कन्वर्ट हुआ है यार.
PayPRX is trying to bait out Gen.G a little bit to see.
It's a little bit time out of 50 seconds.
And when that double door opens, Mind Freak is
this
so
is
crisp
just a
right now.
50
He's
seconds
just ready
time
for
out.
it. Gets one, does a ton of damage to
Tries to
another.
hit it.
And then Jing
Hit
able
that
to
like,
perfectly
subscribe, share button.
place his paint shells, use that showstopper to push them towards Forsaken.
Yeah, you guys
Forsaken
subscribe.
a little bit lucky to get away with his kill on Charon, but still the ideas for PayPRX are really, really good right now.
Yeah, just a lot of adjustment, having learned from their previous matchups, understanding that Gen.G will always have a plan to provide backup. If not, the site's going to be left empty, right? They have things like the lockdown.
ये जब चाइनीज है क्या? अरे ना रे ना, चाइनीज नहीं, डिफरेंट जगह के लोग हैं. It's not Chinese. इंडिया मतलब हर तरफ के लोग खेलते हैं.
One of those maps where Gen.G is starting to get tested all the way to their limits. How much deeper does your kind of baseline fundamental playbook go, right? It's not about the set plays anymore.
यहाँ
It's
पे
about
हर
how you're
तरह के लोग
adjusting to the
खेलते हैं.
tempo of the opponents. We'll have to see how much their homework has been done as we take a look at round 7. The econ once again quite broken on the side of Gen.G. Just the lone Vandal carried over, and Meteor will be relying on a trusty old Marshall once again up on the other side for something.
And these wins are so
Siding
huge for
with
PayPRX because they
the
keep those
boss.
ults in a weird
Siding
cycle.
alright.
They're not able to really get those down and start cycling
Signing
them back
off.
again. So you're just, essentially eating through ult orbs that you would love to have. Instead, they're not able to really get like the Nightfall there, the lockdown as well in play in that previous round. Able to find any availability to use them. That works so nicely in PayPRX's favor. And by the way, this is a map where both teams are really good on their defender side usually. Gen.G has been really stalwart in their defense on
Wow,
this.
yeah.
Overstack C, kind of expecting that this has been where PayPRX feels like they have a good read onto Meteor and his positionings.
Yeah, but backup all arrived, right? And this is even with that snake bite to try to fake them out away from A site. It's going to be Texture who's trying to make sure he blocks him up, but he's a little too scared to fire the first shot. Wants to line up.
What a shot.
Jing to turn around for a double.
What a shot, man! What a shot! Do you like that?
The round slip away. Caron,
The shot is awesome. You can say.
Continuing the jiggle for another round win.
The shot is
It's just
crazy.
incredible, the timing and the coordination you can already find here. You know, you're just
Wow.
gonna dive in with the shorty as you would kind of expect, but then you have Jing up on the box to cover you as well. So this executes so good. The late paranoia right on top of Munchkin there. Even if he had maybe gotten a kill on Jing or something like that, didn't even matter. But still, love what PaperX is doing. Really nicely timed hits. They're kind of waiting things out, feeling out Genji enough. And then they're able to do what you were talking about earlier, Will, that they're just dumping utility when they know they can get value out of it. And that's been really powerful. Big hit. Trade. Oh, Meteor and Caron
as well. Mindfreak trying to stabilize, but eventually goes down. And PaperX really choose to stay and fight. Forsaken wondering if the Prowler would spot him. It does eventually. But he's on duty now. He has to lead the forces as something's still sticking with the operator for the time being. Both trying to open up the right side of the map. Targeting B-site and Rubble. Something's going to make a lot of noise, waiting for Forsaken to gain some intel in the middle of the map. And Genji, they don't want to fall for this. They're trying to make sure they group up all the way in Defender's spawn and make sure they don't let Forsaken know of their whereabouts. Spike plant, heard by Meteor. Going to enter onto drop, and it looks like it's just going to pinch even with the Nightfall to make sure. He does get tagged right at the end, has no audio. A little bit of that decay as well.
Still has the Blade Storm. Back pocket. Lockdown gonna have to be invested.
I mean, Genji, they really want to make sure that they don't get pinched from the flank as well. They are prepared for everything, and Lakia with a snap on, but something with a flick to answer back. And now the lockdown goes through. Still not enough time, though. The defuse already started, so some heroics from something, but a desperate round win for Genji.
And I mean, consolation prize, I suppose, for PaperX is you got him to use 2 big ults in a 2v3. That's like a huge win in my book for PaperX. Yeah, you lose the round to that early aggression, essentially. A great idea, great change of tempo for Genji to just kind of push out. And it looked like PaperX might have been somewhat ready for it, at least on the C side, but the B side caught him
भाई यहाँ
off guard.
धोती खोल ले
Was able to be
धोती
a
खोल ले
puncher
पूरा
for
पूरा
Genji get a much needed round win, especially with rifles in hand, to bank up a little bit of extra economy because it is deep pockets
भाई ये तो
for
खोल
PaperX
धोती
right
खोल ले
now. They've got some ults again. Showstopper once again.
धोती
For Jing going to be
ये
available. You do have the Viper's Pit
धोती
for Munchkin. See how he wants to use it, but I think he's going to be a little bit patient for it. You want to you want to make sure that you aren't going to be cleaned out early. Maybe if they get a spot on you and the Showstopper in the right place.
Yeah, generally, Genji, one of those teams that does like to wait for a little bit of a surefire way to send that ultimate, even if it's on a timer near the end of the round, something like that. So we'll have to wait and keep our eyes on Munchkin. But like you mentioned, Genji's ult economy, a little bit mixed up, whereas PaperX, they've got their options even with the operator. Now Texture waiting on the C side for Genji with his own operator that allows his teammates to be ready with a trap play near Baby Door. Paranoia already spent though, so Caron just gonna have to wait for the crossfire. The tripwire sent, no reaction. Forsaken trying to bait this out. He knows that this door is open for a reason. And now the execute on through the revolving door is gonna happen.
Wow.
Jing sends it, uses the showstopper as an extra boost to move forward, dodge all the bullets, and the site has just been broken open. So we do see a bit of a trade near Baby Door, but something is the guard. Can you get through him?
No
Oh,
idea.
the barrel. No idea. Lakia still hidden right by it. They sniffed something, but not how close enough it was. And now the retake. Genji, 3 members ready for the flood. Lakia just trying to draw a lot of aggro towards that Baby Door side. Draw them out into the open. Mindfreak going for a bit of a Hail Mary with the front of the shadows. Meteor going to stabilize the shot first. But now the pinch. Genji, they hear his shots. And it's going to be a peek out from Texture, but he gets taken down. Mindfreak still going for it. Half already done by Munchkin. The defuse, they just want to try to stick it. But the spam's coming through. It's ticking down. You have to stick it now. And he's pinpoint on for the headshot. And Devi will clean it up. A 2v2 victory for PaperX.
Yeah, beautiful read here by Mindfreak. Been so good for PaperX on this half. Using his ult at the perfect time. And putting himself right at drop. An interesting spot to go. You might expect, as Genji, that he goes a little bit deeper with it. Have to invest the Viper's Pit. Try to make this retake a little bit safer. But the crossfire good. Texture just not quite able to find that shot with the picked up operator off of something. Now something is going to grab that judge. Finally probably going to invest the Blade Storm as well. Got that 3-man execute towards Rubble for Gen G, but nobody from PaperX is even going to be in that destination.
Oh man, I love this from PaperX. Anytime Gen G is weak on their buys, it's going to be Meteor who's targeted, but you can't count this guy out with single shots. He'll take down 2. It's going to be the Rays and Sky down something, also taking a big hit, and that will slow down PaperX. So Meteor, a bit of an adjustment there. Instead of waiting in the site, pushes out towards Mound to challenge them early, allows his teammates to come for backup. And now B and C-Site have been flooded. They will be found through the neural theft.
And now they're going to change ideas. Saw too much pressure. Try to make it work onto B. Forsaken looking for the pick off the ping, but not quite able to find himself that kill. Plant going to be able to come down. Switch to the Vandal.
Oh, with the classic! Woo! Oh, takes him down. That's a rifle upgrade. Now Forsaken's lurk. Are they ready for this? They have no idea. Forsaken, he'll just take the 1 kill. He's happy to buy time to try to bring home this round victory. Tries to flick up, but that's a tough one. Lakia will be able to find that kill. Mindfreak dodges, and he won't be able to connect to the second one. Munchkin picking another with the Sheriff, and it's going to be the Thrifties of Gen G that return.
Yeah, the classic Gen G Thrifty. So good at this, and Meteor just a little bit further ahead than maybe PaperX was expecting. They got the ping off the flash, and I could see some level of potential preparedness there for PaperX that maybe somebody would be at that mound, but Meteor was just too fast and too good. And Forsaken tries to double pump a bit after he got that 1 lurk kill, but Lakia reads it perfectly, and that he's still going to be trying to pressure that angle. It's so nasty from Meteor there. I mean, you can see they're firing at him. They're pre-firing, trying to get to him. Meteor's just too quick, too good.
He's been in that position so many times before.
He's insane, man. I mean, with those, like you said, the one-tap weapons, there's few that are better.
Well, now Texture, he'll have to get an operator bot from his teammates. They were trying to look for one, but little did they know, PaperX didn't invest in another in that previous round. And there won't be another this time either as we go into the last couple of rounds of the first half. PaperX still leading 6-4. Something dashes ahead of Rubble, takes all this space, and he's ready for it as well. Sees the tag, sees Lakia getting hit right through the toxic screen. No idea what hit him. And now 2 members of Gen G still on the A side, but a lot of risk. Tries to take the shot, but he's a little too late. Only hits the Trailblazer, and another swing out, but Texture, good for another. Oh, that's going to be the double blast back. Completely draws the crosshair away, and PaperX seems to have good control of this A site once again.
The reaction protocols from PaperX are so good. Right on the back of that Trailblazer to try to set something up. Yeah, he dies, but immediately Jing satchels past the operator, knowing that he's stuck in place without using satchels of his own to get out. There's no quick out for Texture there, and Jing and Forsaken take perfect advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just absolutely an honest moment of, was it a burr, was it a plane? No, it was Jing. But by the time he figured that one out, Texture was down and out. Now it's going to be the 7th round win for PaperX. Finally bringing some good old meta balance to the attacking and defending win rates to Pacific.
Yeah, it was about time. I mean,
we haven't seen this in
quite
so often.
I know. Lotus has been a super defender-sided map, but it is going to be the team ace for PaperX. They will claim the 7th round. A positive half no matter what happens in the last one. Let's see if Gen G can make it 7-5. Money should be just there. I think, not exactly sure for Gen G. Gonna need to see another look. So. Yeah, I think they got just enough to get through with the buys. I mean, it's so nasty from Jing. What do you do against this?
Yeah, and then he still gets Karon as well. Karon trying to figure out where he needs to provide backup, but it's just too fast. And while Jing has to adapt a little bit. Okay. All right, so we're going to go for a Sheriff, a Bucky, and a Spectre on the side of Gen G, all to make sure that Texture can get an operator. Just so we're clear, he hasn't fired too many shots with that weapon in this first half.
No, it is quite the mixed bag here for Gen G. Try to see if they can shut this down. And look at PaperX kind of ping-ponging here, and it's so fast. They're already on B. Forsaken already taking space, already trying to see if they can clear this open.
It's as if they have a hard read on this off-buy, right? The force up, saying that the weapons probably are all over the place. We just have to make sure we don't run into the operator, nor any of the amazing ultimates on the side of Gen G. Nightfall gets used. 2 members will dash out, but something gets ahead of it. Doesn't need audio when he's up in the air, and it's going to be the showstopper, trying to keep the rest of PaperX at bay, but Jing jumping forward, gets a lot more kills, and now just Meteor left alive. Picks up the operator. He's always been good for 1, but can he be good for 3? Not even a single kill, as it will be an 8-4 half for PaperX.
I mean, this is starting to look like 2023 PaperX for sure. I mean, yeah, there was some really good ideas here early on where PaperX was kind of baiting utility, trying to figure out exactly how Gen G was going to play things. You weren't seeing some of that same control either from Gen G towards Rubble that they were doing time and time again against Talon. You know, a lot of times Gen G, you would see the Fade, the Omen, and the Raze all taking that Rubble control early and then using that to kind of box Talon in. However, PaperX was kind of like waiting it out, and they'd say, okay, we could send something forward a little bit. Okay, they don't like what they see, they're going to pull back, and they're really brutalizing Meteor on that C site early and often, and that kind of set things off kilter for Gen G. It didn't really feel like they were ever comfortable, and then a lot of times, Gen G's been really good so far this year with anticipating like some of those deep pushes after a plant goes down, and they did a really good job absorbing that pressure against like Talon.
Sure.
But today, I mean, it's because it's PaperX, because they stagger so many things at you so quickly. It's so tough to deal with.
And the tempo changes as well from round to round. It's not just the old W gaming all the way through, right? Sometimes you're baiting out the ultimate. Sometimes you're trying to get ahead of it. PaperX definitely starting to creep into Gen G's head a little bit. Now Gen G will have to clear their minds as they now take the initiative on the attacking half. Toxic screen set up on A, the default screen to help take control of Rubble. And it's going to be 4 ghosts, just a half armor for Charon. Looking to stack towards B. They will meet each other once again.
This is looking just like our previous pistol round. It's just different teams on different sides, but it's like almost the exact same setup. So you're going to rely on Forsaken for PaperX to kind of lock down the A site, get the info for a retake potentially, but it looks like it's going to be another brawl right at the front of B.
And they'll run into each other right away. The guiding light, it is going to be antied, and there's a paranoia. Counter paranoia as well. Do they recognize where it came from? No, they're going to spot Mind Freak a little too late, and their crosshair is shaken up by the boom bot as well. Double kill for Jing. The answer back from the door from something as well. The backup is there for PaperX. Now a 3v2, but of course the battle still 2v2 as Forsaken awaits the approach on the A side.
It's a pretty good read now for Gen G, moving towards C, seeing if they can get it, but of course, as is tradition, PaperX not letting go of those W keys and just going to keep right at their heels, right behind them. Now Laki is watching it. Is he going to be able to get it? Nope, that's spiked down too.
Not quick enough, and Munchkin, he's afraid of the flank now, recognizing that they're pushing him from behind. You got to be afraid of where's Forsaken coming from, because surely it's going to be a pinch and a wide swing. Something's been loving those here at VCT Pacific as they continue the lead in the second half.
I mean, many try to brawl with PaperX. Few succeed. And I like it from Gen G. See if you can get a confidence win here. See if you can get a boost. But it just isn't ever really able to be dealt with. That boom bot not quite cleared. Causes some serious problems as well. So, again, the slight delay with some of these util timings from PaperX. And playing off of contact with their utility. This is something they do so well. Time and time again. That a lot of teams don't really understand or anticipate until they played against it. Especially with Jing in there. Because Jing is full on confidence. He does not care at all what you're doing. He is going to take the fight to you when he feels like it's time.
Yeah, I mean, Jing is quite frankly overheat incarnate, but PaperX work really well with it as an active drone, and it also gets a lot of kills at the same time, so it's a bit unfair sometimes. But we'll see. Gen G, it's not going to be this round as they are just sitting on a singular sheriff, but can they stabilize in the upcoming rounds, because they don't have too many left. PaperX are only 4 rounds away. We've been seeing the outlaw a lot from Jing. He misses the first, he misses the second. He's in a bit of danger now. He's got to run away, but something is there with a Vandal. Gen G, you did not account for this one. The hate shells will knock Jing out. Jing wanted to green for another off of the reload, but now back up a ride from Divide. Gen G, all their eyes set on something. He's trying to draw aggro. It's going to be Meteor who's just checking. There's the jump peek, but it's going to be Divide who swings out first. And now just trying to spray down the close members. The classic comes into play as well. And Divide doesn't need the PaperX buff. He'll just get the kills himself alongside Mind Freak.
Yeah, there's just nobody else in the world that does these setups. I mean, PaperX just does bizarre stuff, putting the outlaw up on top of the rock there, and then you've got something just holding the angle out in the open, and Jing sticks around just a little bit longer, and that's intentional. That's to buy some of the extra time there. Force kind of the hand of Gen G, where they say, okay, maybe we can isolate Jing, maybe he overstayed his welcome. Like you were just saying, sometimes he overheats, sometimes he kind of goes for those extra big plays when he doesn't need to, but it's all just
can't get the kill right away. If it's not a headshot one tap, you gotta question whether you want to continue the fight or not. As PRX, they love to drag it out. That mud fight. Now it's going to be Texture planted in rubble for this round. Gen G, they've taken over that space, but at the cost of quite some big util, like the paranoia already being spent by Charon. Now planting the lurk into B as well. Classic Gen G coming out, classic default with this composition. Spread out the lurks across the map, see if you get a reaction. Now in 50 seconds, they still haven't cleared the Cypher setup though on C. That's going to be their next obstacle.
Yeah, it's going to be the kind of go signal for PaperX to start pushing the rest of the map. I like what PaperX did here, really trying to hide. Their setup.
Stunned. Oh, they got him trying to creep forward, but it's just not enough, and something clears that. And Gen G, they wanted to rotate back. They wanted to plant something in C, but now they'll have to just start to walk in and clear all these traps. They have no idea where Forsaken might be. They're creeping forward. They thankfully will clear out the Cypher, and now taking over the site. It's going to be a quick surround by PaperX. Revolving door and something now from Defender Spawn as well. Trying to clear the angles. He draws the site of one, and that's going to be the cue for the rest of the team to start pinching it forward. Divide trying to draw aggro, but he goes down. Now a 2v2. Gen G, can they win the duels? It's going to be Munchkin who wins one. Now a 2v1. Mind Freak, he gets one. Getting in the second. The spray down not quite landing. And Munchkin finally gets one more on the board for Gen G.
He almost had that.
Almost.
He almost had that. I think he got to dig through the wall there. Absolutely bonkers stuff today from Mind Freak. I mean, he is playing some of the best VALORANT we have seen. This Omen stuff. This is a huge win right there. If Forsaken gets one before he's traded, now, if you want to fault PaperX at all there and say that Forsaken gets a little bit ahead of things, but Forsaken just trying to see if he can catch him off guard a little bit. But fortunately for Gen G, they know they're wise to the trickery of PaperX. They know that you never know when one player is going to be pushing ahead of the rest, trying to see if they can find that extra value. Texture out ahead, grabbing that orb early again, but a three-man stack here. Got Jing, Devi, and Mind Freak ready to rumble.
All available for Lockett. He's set up for it. Now, are they ready for the close hold, though? So audio may not matter as much. The DK is going to be something they're looking forward to, trying to hold them, bottleneck them in tree. And so far, PaperX succeeds just a bit. Divide trying to bounce back and forth. He gets sighted first, and Texture with a nice flick back around. He clears the entire site on his own alongside his trusty Boombot. And that should be a quick round for Gen G as they look forward to a 6th round win. Only 2 members left alive. PaperX, Bulldog, and Vandal in hand.
Yeah, gonna have to be a save now. Although Forsaken has taken a position. He's gonna try to find cheeky exit frag potentially. Something going on a bit of a lookabout. Just seeing if anybody's gonna come through there quick, see if he can get a freebie. Not gonna be given over there. Great execute from Gen G on the back of that Nightfall. I mean, I like what Divide did there, where he kind of sidestepped the Boombot and was gonna hold the angle, but Texture just so fast. And then the transfer over on a Mind Freak as well, absolutely nuts. He's ready for the third, and that's round over. So, I mean, we've seen it time and time again this year that Texture can pick up these big multi-kills for you and just completely turn things around. Get Gen G back on track, potentially make this a competitive map.
And that's something that really carried Gen G forward and impressed a lot of people around the world, was that they could take turns having those moments. And very truthfully, we haven't seen too many yet here on the first map of this best of 3. But Texture will put one into the highlight reel to make sure that Gen G's not out just yet. PaperX not close to map point, only 10 rounds. They can't sit on their laurels yet. There we go. The replays are coming back for Texture. Trying to loosen himself up.
Yeah, he's getting the feel of it now for sure, and that'll help.
And he's like, oh, yeah, where's that? Oh, there's the toad. Here we go. This is how we start that song. He's back in tune.
I just love Texture, man. He's so funny on camera. He's just always singing or reacting.
Update. I like it.
He is. It's great to see. So now you got to kind of rethink what you're doing here, because that extra space you're giving up at Rubble hasn't really worked out. It's intentional for sure from PaperX, holding back, trying to see if you can get these contact reactions. But the Nightfall in particular was really challenging, even with the paranoia and all those flashes and stuff that
A quick
PaperX
timeout
throws out.
is going
Isn't
to
enough
be.
to really stop the momentum of Gen G when they're doing that execute. As Gen G, that the mount hit. I think this will be Showstopper giving order to Jing.
Yeah, get that quick and easy orb, and of course this allows you to set up Forsaken and a bit of a trap on A with the Cypher setups. Now, really just trying to make sure that they cannot take over backside too easily, trying to look for the picks rather, upon the entry. Now, PaperX will try to funnel them towards the A side. It's all going as planned, but whether they can arrive in time is the big question. Texture goes in. Does he send in the Showstopper? It's not checking drop just yet. He's not wise to it at all. His teammates are going to start to funnel in. One gets seen at the first, but only one, as Forsaken wonders where the double peak will be. Genji making their lucky stars on that one as they haven't taken too much damage just yet. Texture holding close from heaven, but I'm not sure if he was spotted by the Trailblazer. Not at all. He's hiding right behind the top screen. He counts for one. That's one down. Tries to hide back into it. Jake goes way far. The Showstopper not finding its target. Texture still alive. He stabilizes for another kill. Divine bringing this short. He won't find its targets just yet. The Nanoswarm keeping them at bay, and Genji, they've got the post plants. They've got the angles. The Nanoswarm will be cleared by Jing. He's quick on that, but they have to push. They have to get kills. It's a 2v3. The spike is ticking down, and they are just getting pressured as Meteor gets yet another kill. The paint shells, but Jing only 8 HP. Gets one kill. Can he at least drop all the weapons? No, it's going to be Lakia who will get the last kill, and Genji follow up to 7. I mean, this is, again, Texture with just positioning this time. Not just great entry, great gunplay, but just a positioning thing that isn't accounted for. That, you know, you can see on the map if you're watching. Device sends a flash towards drop that doesn't get any contact. So then they throw the Trailblazer, but does not see Texture. They're trying to set up Jing to find that player. It's a little too close that he can blast back into, get that free pick onto the Flood retake. The one player that probably you would have liked to have knocked out of that round, left unaccounted for. Great stuff there from Genji. Oh, and Texture finds sight of at least one, maybe both members as he's throwing the paint shells as well. Just trying to make sure that they don't have an exit. The baby door broken open, so they have an idea of where the exits might have happened. Genji now stabilizing as Meteor clears mound. On the other side of the map, they're really spreading their control of this attacking round.
Forsaken though, just waiting for contact off those tripwires. It looks like camera on the other side, something sliding over, but there's been no pressure at A, so now you have to kind of start to assume that ABC might be being thought about. Spike's still in spawn for Genji, so they're trying to figure out exactly what PaperX's bigger change up after that timeout was going to be, right? The previous round was a little bit of an eco, so you expect that this is the round that really, you know, maybe there's going to be a response, maybe there's going to be a crunch out of Baby Door or something like that, but instead, it's all towards C.
Yeah, but I love that from Devi, right? They're aware that Genji could rotate to either side, so on a time he sends the Trailblazer. That brings Jing over just in time before the execute happens. Is 3 going to be enough for PaperX? As we do see the spray coming in through the smoke, nobody close. They set up clear the second trip, but it's going to be something that draws the aggro first. Forsaken good for a double. Jing still alive on the site. Something trying to bounce back out. As Jing flies forward, but Texture, he's just going in through aim training as all these targets fly at him. 1v2. Can he get the clutch? He's already been spotted. He's going to plant with the help of the paint shells. Finds one. Doesn't have time though. He has to stick the plant. Will he have it? He stops it. Divine knows. And he goes for the peak. Texture with the ace. And once again, he drags Genji out from the depths of hell in this map 1.
What are you supposed to do against that? That's unfair. He's just insane. PaperX does so many of the right things here. Forsaken something, Jing all there to try to cover for this. And yeah, he gets Forsaken. You know, Jing does a good blast pack. Try to buy a little bit of bait. He gets up on top of the box. Texture's just better. And he plays this timing perfectly. Devi, you know, you kind of have to think that Devi might be trying to push you with the timing after that. Of course, he's fired up.
I mean, you see Lakia's face there too. His teammates can't believe it either. I mean, yes, he's your star player, but this is not normally Texture. And then he just chuckles it off. Just another round, just another day for the Korean duelist on Genji.
Mind-blowing. I mean, the way he plays that time at the end of it too, just absolutely brilliant. You can see Devi a little bit befuddled, not maybe expecting that last.
Gotta give a timeout.
Reading the time situation as well as he could. Maybe rethinking that one, but you know, you want to try to push him, but there just isn't enough space there. When he starts planning right before that 4 seconds, right? It takes 4 seconds to plant the spike.
rough going so far on Lotus, but he's back on top, and now Meteor finds a pick on C as well. That will slow things down for Gen G. They know they have options. With the Cypher down, they can go anywhere. The immediate call comes out. They've been spotted, and something follows through. You have to watch out for this. PRX, when they see an opening, they will not let go. They will drag you back. But Meteor says, welcome right into my arms. 2 down with the Outlaw. Tries to peek around the boot bot, not going to find an opening. Now he's just trying to play for time as the rest of his team is creeping into the site. Guiding light comes out. Gen G has to make a decision. The call comes out to try to reinforce, but Meteor may not need any assistance as he gets another. Still only half armors on the remaining members of PaperX as well.
Yeah, this is not the fight you want to be taking with just stingers in hand for PaperX. So now we're going to back off and try something a little bit different, but Gen G hot on their heels, opting to try to take a little bit more contact. Love these Outlaws coming out from Meteor against the egos of PaperX. Save a little bit of extra cash, able to cover the flanks really nicely with it as well. So this little adjustment for Gen G has caused PaperX quite a bit of grief.
30 seconds left.
This is just so good. They know that the Cypher was gone from C site, but instead of waiting to see if the rotates have already happened, you don't know if PaperX is split or not. They decided to just deathball it into the site, playing with the advantage of numbers. 3 inside tree, Meteor holding from afar next to rubble. Mindfreak try to cause a bit of a ruckus with the shrouded step. They definitely heard it through the wall, but are they aware of where he might have landed? You won't get a reaction. Gen G, they are just patient. They know they are so close to trying to tie this up on Lotus, their map pick. This best of 3 in stage 1. Tapping the spike, Mindfreak recognizes the members, but Meteor's there for the flank. That's a 4K now. Outlaw picked up for Jing. He'll try to do what he can, but it's only got 1 shot left in it. He can't go for the double, and Munchkin will clean things up. That's an interaction I didn't really ever think about with the Outlaw.
Yeah.
It's a rough one for sure.
He had to gamble a bit there, right? It just did. I don't think it quite clicked with him. Realized he's looking for the headshot, but
Sure.
yeah. I mean, still, Meteor though so good with it. 4 kills in the round for him. Getting tons of value out of that Marshall. That gives you a little extra bank to utilize as well. Now you've got a lot of ults for both sides. Both sides have showstoppers. With the Girl Theft and the Seekers. The Viper's been the lockdown. So a lot of counter utility play. Gen G this time going to be taking mountain control with a TP in the back.
Paranoia out, but he's not going to land the shot. Devi will stop it, and that should stop the advance from PRX entirely, as Jing will slow things down just enough for something. He's thinking about peeking out of this revolving door. Pop his guiding light as well. The team comes right back in form for PaperX, as they will get another round. And I do just want to let Achilles know on the desk that PaperX finally got a round back once they bought the Odin. So, I don't know. Causation, correlation, not quite sure where it lands, but it's there.
It is a very powerful gun in Forsaken's hand.
Wasn't exactly usable on that round.
Didn't matter. But it was there. That's all. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Jing there gets so much air.
Yes.
And then the fact that he's able to, again, nobody recovers faster from landing after blast packs than Jing. He is just unreal at his ability to stabilize his aim. It's tricky to do. Now we're going to see that Oda come into play as the doors being pushed by Gen G. Forsaken somewhat aware of it, but not able to find any. He found a little bit of damage on Hector, maybe. Okay, Meteor.
All right, Meteor. He's definitely had to play Jing a couple times before, but Charon goes down. So much damage on Texture. Took a big chunk earlier as well. Now you wonder, is it even worth pushing for this Odin? They're going to try to draw that aggro over to the B side. This is all set up for Texture. If he can get a kill, they can immediately rotate back as well. But it's just going to be the neural theft, and Texture knows there's no way out. You have to push the B side. The post plant, they'll have to worry about that afterwards. They will look to push everyone out. The pit used for one side. Texture takes over Heaven. The rest all choosing to stay inside the pit. So Texture's going to have to buy a lot of time before the retake happens.
This is tricky for PRX because there's no money left for Forsaken. Got enough to buy, but he's going to have to fork over that Odin. Jeez, he knows these angles so well.
Yeah, I mean, barely just scrapes the cap off of Raze's head. Gen G will let the round pass. 10-11 score line. We'll have to take a look how this impacts the next round as Odin saved over by Forsaken.
I want to ask you, Will, did you feel like PaperX was going to try that retake anyway? Like, did you have it in the back of your mind?
And you know, yeah, somewhere in my mind, until I really saw Mindfreak really sit at the other edge of the map, I'm like, well, they might.
Yeah, it's in your mind, right? I mean,
Because they've done things where it's just Forsaken spamming and everyone sprints across, masking their audio. Like, they've done some crazy things with weapons they shouldn't have. So, exactly. You can never count them out, and I think that's why Gen G was a little cautious. But now, round 22, this is going to be the big one. Gen G continuing with their default opening to take over Rubble, and PaperX, they want to punish it this time. It's going to be a fast push out. Meteor, he's good for one. He makes the dash go away from the other, and now the backup has arrived for Gen G as well. They've cut off the forces pushing out of B main, and Meteor, if he can get that kill, if he had gotten it, the map opens up for Gen G, but something will back off.
that was close for something. He's going to have just enough time to get out, but he still has no help. Everybody's leaning towards A. The raid a little bit off kilter. Finally, with that Prowler coming through, now they're starting to shift back over, and it's immediate change in direction from Gen G. They're working the map so nicely.
Yes, it's still a full minute as well. Now the big benefit is, of course, Cypher set up on A, and Mindfreak understands he can't give up too much space on B main. They need to get that information nice and early, and so PaperX, they will hold 2-1-1 spread out across the map. Trailblazer don't clear bound on that timing. It's going to be the Odin pressuring, seeing if there's a reaction to smoke to help hit the tripwire. The Boombot will take the hit for that one, but the Nightfall is going to force Forsaken out. Does he stick around? He tags one with the cam, makes sure that they don't approach, and that buys him just enough time to try to get away. Still no audio, and he has no idea that the rope's been taken. Busy with the reload on the Odin. Mindfreak takes over drop. Spike already planted though, and Gen G set up for the post-mat texture. A bit of a curveball, the wild card. Something might have seen him because he catches the barrel, chases him down, and immediately swivels for a second headshot. And now it's just going to be Meteor and Munchkin 2v2, but the health not on their side. Nanoswarm, by time. The second one has to be launched right away. It's a lot of time bought. They couldn't clear it in time. Half not done. Now switching up that position, trying to push it. They actually just get it with the spray, and if Munchkin can't get it, it's going to be Meteor, who's just buying time. Still enough for Mindfreak. He tries to turn away, but Munchkin finds a sliver of an angle. They are tied up 11-11 after what seemed an insurmountable 10-4 lead for PaperX.
Yeah, I mean, PaperX trying to get aggressive early, trying to see if they can win some of those duels, but it's actually Meteor. The sidestep, something with an impressive double. Still, Gen G able to get into those post-plant positions, hold those angles just long enough. Trying to play a little bit of game of tap the spike and dance around as PaperX, and it doesn't really fool Gen G too much at all, but it's all that early game kind of anticipation of the pressure, dealing with it, and then working the map nicely. Here we go, fast hit now.
Now out the open, just right through the screen for Texture to pick up a triple. PaperX, they tried to adjust, and Mindfreak's holding on for dear life. If he gets a third, it's a totally different story. Now a 1v2 for Forsaken. Can he do it when PaperX needs it most? The setup all the way on C site, but the lurk from Meteor, it's faster than Forsaken might expect. He has no idea, and it's going to be the kill. 12-11, map point for Gen G as the crowd goes wild and sold.
I mean, again, PaperX tries to challenge a little bit sooner than they have been on this Rebel take. The Texture's so ready for it. He gets enough comfort with that initial hit, and no real bothering by the utility there. He gets ahead of the Sky Flash. The reveal from Locky is so good, and then Mindfreak gets even deeper than Gen G's ready for, so he picks up 3 huge kills, but still the round win comes from Gen G, so it's either going to be Matt Gen G or overtime forced by PaperX. This attacker side for both teams have been really good, but so far Gen G's maybe just slightly better, especially with this showstopper coming into Texture's hands.
Yeah, and they know PaperX, they failed the fight on Rebel the previous round, so Gen G just calling them out on it, trying to pressure it once again. Takes the orb as well, sees if there's a reaction. It's a classic setup, and PaperX, they might have to go
worried about some kind of counter trap developed by PRX in between rounds on this A side. I think something's looking potentially to get not just a pick, but maybe get an orb as well. Get that Blade Storm going.
Nice clear on the side of Mound, though. So now PRX, they know for certain as his door is open that it's going to be an A hit. Forsaken, does he look for a timing? He creeps in. He hears the Cypher Cage, but that's just bait from Munchkin. The absolute 200 IQ play. Baits out the Cypher Jing, trades for something. But they've already lost quite a few. Divide trying to clear the site. Spike still not planted. The Showstopper will have to be used by Texture to make sure they have enough time. 3v2 for Gen.G. Munchkin holding from afar by Rubble. Tries to cover their bases. The Showstopper sent to cover drop. Now Spike planted. Mind Freak because he used the toxic screen against them. The smoke to see if there's a peek, but not quite just yet. Drop going to be filled up by Jing. It's going to be a pitch from PRX. Mind Freak's creeping up, but the barrel shows as Lafayette turns his head. Texture gets the kill onto Jing, and Mind Freak knows he has to get it, but not in time. And the IGL of Gen.G will close out an insane 13-11 map on Lotus.
It's unbelievable. And the comeback here from Gen.G, it's that determination they've had all year, that never give up attitude. So many of their games have gone to 3 maps. They've gone the distance. They have played an insane amount of games already here in 2024. You can see that they are not breaking. They are holding fast. They are holding firm. Attacker side for both teams really good. Something I want to mention, it's been the defender side action on this map that's been really kind of bread and butter this year so far, but both teams having some great adaptations.
Absolutely. PRX, they came out swinging with a lot of new ideas, with a lot of good reads, but they ran out of steam near the end. We'll have the analyst desk coming on to the show to break down the action a little bit further.
And just when you thought maybe Gen.G was gonna lose their map, they said, nope, this is our map pick, Lotus, and they bring it back. But it didn't look like it was going to be that way.
It looked really dominant in the first half. I think like all of Wars fought with deception, and Forsaken was a shadow. Like the way he was lurking around, Gen.G, sometimes they just wouldn't expect him. And when they do expect him, he's on another part of the map. And it's just so confusing for them.
It was an incredible run back. It felt like the insanity of that Texture ace, which was effectively a 1v5, is what really cemented it. I will say, though, for William, who is making a bit of a note towards me on the cast, and I'm saying this because he's walking past the moment. Yeah, they were looking good with the Odin, but I seem to recall that Gen.G didn't use the Odin too much, and they happened to win this map, so maybe the Odin just causes you to lose. I don't know what it is, but this was a hell of a banger opener, and if this is what we can expect from Icebox as well, with the confidence of PRX to pick that map coming in, oh boy, it's going to be one hell of a series.
Yeah, both these teams definitely did not let us down. 12 first kills on both sides, and I think you're right, Achilleos. The moment Texture got that insane kill, everything started to turn around. That's when you start to see Gen.G's confidence. Coach Alex was saying that just now. Once Gen.G gets that confidence, that's actually the most unstoppable thing about them.
Ridiculously, yeah. I mean, it's that confidence for sure. I mean, at the start, you know, they were starting to struggle a little bit. PRX started to push out against them. PRX won the pistol at the start of the second half, but slowly Gen.G started to, you know, switch up the pace a little bit. They got information with Lakia. Texture started to go in for, you know, those triple kill rounds. There was that one specific round where he got a triple kill onto A site off of Lakia's information and support, and then the entirety of PRX couldn't retake anymore. After that, Gen.G started to pick up momentum, and that's where the confidence starts to build up.
Yeah, I mean, the turnaround from Gan after in kills to where he ended up is absolutely insane. It was just a crazy turnaround from him. But Meteor, consistent the whole way throughout. It felt like Meteor and Lakia were really the ones like holding on by a thread. We weren't seeing that impact from Charon, from Munchkin, from Texture, and all that we're really used to seeing in that first half. But I think that, yeah, that rallying cry from the Texture ace is what really just got everybody on the same page. But I gotta say, solid efforts to Mind Freak, because good God, from the whole map across, he was absolutely on point.
Yeah, he's consistently getting kills and just kind of anchoring down a lot of spots. Sometimes even in those clutch situations like that one that we just saw, he's able to pick up a couple of multi-kills here and there
too,
just to bring his team back from the brink, and that really gives them the even odds that PRX needs to sneak away with these rounds sometimes. The only thing is just that, you know, although everyone from PRX was chipping in, we didn't quite see that same kind of like inflow expect, like perhaps Jing, for example. There were great entries, there were great performances, great team plays, but nothing quite as like magical or as highlight worthy as what Texture did.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I think that that's just something that's going to take a little bit more time for PaperX to get back into that flow state, get back to having just the high-fine gameplay that we were seeing from them so consistently throughout last year. And I think that that's perfectly fine. I'm ready for them to come in, and then, you know, Alex, he was saying that, you know, okay, it's 9 days for both teams to widely get prepped. He thinks that it's mostly even. I do kind of disagree, just given that Gen G didn't undergo any changes. It was just them going to the event, playing with this 5-man core, and then coming back and practicing straight up with this one. So I still would give them the edge in preparation for that. So for PaperX to still make that as close of an opening map as it was, I think is a clear indication that PaperX is back. They are going to be one of the teams contending to be top dog here in Pacific once again.
But is it going to be enough for them to win this series, though? I think that's the biggest question on all our minds. I'm still like a little bit bummed out from this first map loss.
Well, if anything, I think Gen G gave PaperX a taste of their own medicine. You know, coming back with a hero play like that and just turning things around when everything falls into sync, becoming their own version of their hive mind. And I know Mind Freak definitely has a girlfriend buff right now. She's here in the audience. There, you can see her with Auntie Jing's mom. Now, Icebox. We have not seen PaperX play this in a long, long time. And Gen G, the last time they notably played Icebox was against Sentinels. It was the map they dropped to Sentinels when they were so close to getting that Masters trophy.
Gen G has played this in immense amount, and I was a little bit surprised to see that they were leaning into it as a pick as heavily as they had been, because it hasn't been the cleanest map form. It's similar to like Zeta with Ascent in the past, where like you go to this map, you get wins on it, but it's always a struggle. It's always so damn close when you're able to get those wins. With PaperX, I mean, clearly they have a lot of tape that they have studied, that they will have studied coming into this one. So for them to not show it for the longest time and then feel comfortable enough to pick it into Gen G, they have to have a very solid idea about how to counter-strat this team.
It is a bit worrisome, though. I mean, still, you know, everything that we know about PaperX, they prefer some of these like wider open spaces. They prefer to be able to work around the map. Icebox, it's like a little bit execute heavy. You might be able to work around mid a little bit, but other than that, mid has been opened up so much more because of that tiny little window around two. And yeah, PaperX, we don't really know what kind of composition they're gonna run. We had Jing with the Battle Sage before in the past. We had CGRS with the Gecko. What's it gonna be this time? I mean, so far, you know, 9 days of prep. Is Jing just gonna stick to rings, I guess?
It could. I mean, there's still solid entry paths on Icebox. I think that there's probably even more out. I can't really think of any race performances that we've seen widely on Icebox since the changes came in. So there's probably a lot more that you can do. There's probably some crazy line you can do from mid and just completely land in window. You know, you come straight up and then hook your way left into the window and just annihilate anybody that's there in kitchen or two. But I'd be curious to see what they are going to be putting together. If I had to guess, I think it is probably just going to go back to things that they had done before. But we'll have to just wait and see, I suppose.
I think you're right, though. I would be surprised if we didn't see something a little bit crazy, a little harebrained idea like we saw in Sunset with that Sage Wall and Monyet going up on the Omen. You know, little fun things that you see the rest of the Valorant ranked community start using afterwards. I'm sure we're going to see some of that in Icebox.
You probably could find decent value running something like Sunset Comp on Icebox. I think that you could just implement that. Go no duelist, just add some more control and initiators into the mix there. Have something play the Gecko instead of playing the Jet, and I think that you can actually find relative success with it on Icebox.
I feel like they still probably want to keep that Jet in, especially with something playing. But you know, that's the thing. You got this idea of a Gecko now, but still.
Game.
So, before we talk about that, we're going to talk about agents. Like, there's more to talk about agents. But we got to do our game where we will adjust our ranks. You saw this at the beginning. I'm currently at Diamond. These guys are gold. This is not our in-game rank, but our Pacific rank based on this question. I feel like we need to clarify that because these guys are definitely not gold. They're better. They're much better.
Which player will run a higher kill count?
Yeah. So Texture or Jing will get the higher kill count on this. I think this is a. Do you want to talk to the process, or do you want to show your vote first?
Yeah, I'll just go for it.
Let's just go for it.
Okay. I got mine.
I got mine too.
You guys ready?
Wait,
Let's go. Let's show it. All right, you guys are all picking Texture.
How can you not?
I'm amazed. I thought for sure both of you were going to say
right? Come on.
G.
Duelist list come.
So they're doing,
We're not diving in.
yeah, they're doing what I said PaperX could do.
Well, that's a bit of a curveball, perhaps from the coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Both sides are trying to cook for each other.
I'm not gonna lie though, this I kind of mess with this a little bit because we have seen a lot of players just be able to shift over to playing Omen and looking absolutely deadly on it. I mean, Tens is the biggest example
yes.
of that. You get somebody that is very smart about their movement, about the decision making moment to moment, put them on Omen, they can absolutely thrive.
And Genji starts out on defense.
All right, we're gonna go to Icebox. First time we're seeing from PaperX in a long damn time. Let's go to our casters, William and Paper Thin.
Well, everyone wondered what Texture was doing last year, but now the question's back as he's no longer on the duel list, picking up the Omen. And the desk has talked about, the shift. Yes, we've seen it. Obviously, Omen oftentimes used as a sub-dive agent as well. But a very new look from Genji, where they've always had some sort of hard dive as part of their compositions.
This is truly shocking in a way. I mean, Texture is so good at Jet, typically very reliable with an operator. Probably still going to see him pick it up anyway, but you can always shift it over to Meteor as well. But on this defender side, really taking a ton of space, leaving the A side open. Just a little bit of the KJ utility cleared by PaperX. They're going to have a free plant. Now, let's see if they can hold out for this retake. Include the Nano as well. So everything open here for PaperX in that wall. Make sure that this plant goes safe, but Genji trying to figure out exactly where they're going to come from. Looks like mostly from their side.
Yeah, they're all just going to cycle back through screens. Now, something about the Siege, well, obviously very good in the pistol, but in general as well, it should be very good against the double flashes of the Gecko KO, as you still won't be able to fire through all the angles. Something just going to get a blind kill through the smoke. That'll dwindle down to numbers, and Alert already in action behind Defy. We'll keep our eye on that on the middle of the map. It's already cycled all the way through, but the Wingman's still going. That Snakebite ain't taking away Little Bro anytime soon, and we've seen this too many times for it to happen again, as Genji will get the defuse.
Yeah, I mean, just PaperX, they're able to get what they wanted, get into their post-plant positions, get the lurk, but Munchkin just too good on point. He's so confident on this map in the KO. He's just going to take that space, trying to get into your lines, trying to make it very difficult for you to get those post-plants that you want to get set up. It's going to be Texture with the Outlaw. In fact, kind of curious exactly who's going to grab maybe some of that long-range sniper weaponry.
Well, yeah, it's going to have some good value too, though, as this Force Bike comes out. When they have armors for PaperX, surely they suspect an outlaw when it's Genji with Texture and Meteor. So we'll see what ideas they have. It's going to be a high pop flash from the KO. Texture just throwing out the Paranoid to buy more time. Allows him to reposition a little bit. Something with the hard dive in with the dash, but Munchkin already there from behind the side, and Texture gets another with the Outlaw. Mind Freak's already close with the Stinger, and he's going to be able to kill Texture. Not able to stabilize in the smoke. And the spike will be planted. It's surrounded by the walls. Lakia finds the scope of one. Mind Freak going down. And Ching all alone. Stinger in hand. Judge and Bulldog to work with for Genji. It's going to be the Dizzy that's used to clear away from Heaven. Now creeping in from Charon. The Judge actually gets the kill from about medium range from down below. And we will see Lakia pick up yet another point going towards his Thrash.
I mean, it's an interesting idea from PaperX. You send Defy, who's, I think, just had a ghost or something. It wasn't one of the other upgraded SMGs that the rest of PaperX opted for. When he just loses out to Charon, could have been expecting some early aggression, able to use that against him. The rest of the guns, not really revealed until they get on the site, but it's not managed very well by PaperX. Jing doing a good job avoiding the Dizzy.
Hi
Set
there,
himself up,
Razza
gets the
Fuzzy.
dink, tries
How are
to
you?
Re-aggress onto it. Unfortunately for him,
Hi, hello,
it's a
hello.
judge that he's going to be facing in that situation. So now
Are
it's
still
Stingers
here?
and Vandal and half by. So this
काफी
this
देर से कोई
outlaw
था नहीं तो मैं
got a
चैट की
ton
तरफ
more
ध्यान
value
देता
as well for Texture on this A
It's
site.
okay. Hi
The
there.
Outlaw, the Judge, it's all going as planned for Genji. They'll even take the ult door. Very nice. Quite 1 point away from that null command. And now they will back up the utility, letting Genji know that this is an execute onto the site. Texture's holding close. He gets spotted by the dash. So he's going to have to buy time as Munchkin will take out one of the Paranoia for support, but it's going to be PaperX that just absolutely overwhelmed Genji. So they will go for another plant this time. No Sage left alive, so no wall to block off the lines of sight. Meteor takes advantage of the long range, picks off the Viper. ready for the trade as well. Forsaken eventually wins out, but that gives time for Gen G, the rest of the forces, to push through. The Thrash will clear out all the areas, finds him, and he is detained. And forget any sort of disrespect, they will just be going for the defuse. Lakia barely lands in time to get the kill without taking any damage. It's going to be the third round nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, Munchkin's so devastating with the Guardian. Saw it a lot in Madrid. I think kickoff. Able to find some value early. Yeah, PaperX gets the plant down, but losing some pieces of the puzzle along the way. I think it's Divide that started with the rifle in this round. That's so dumb. Munchkin, you're so good with that gun. It's not even fair. And there's good trades here for PaperX, but the weaker weaponry certainly hurts. And a good start. Yeah, let him know, Lakia. It's a good start for sure for Gen G. The Force Buy, of course, making that third round that much easier. Lakia taking the orb, but not going for it. Getting slowed up and just backing off here.
Yeah, doesn't want to take that risk. With the slow orb and the utility coming out as well. Paranoia at the ready. This is a trap play set up by Gen G. They're going to push forward. The Dizzy tags him as well. They're ready for belt push, but Texture not able to get the kill just yet. So down to 4 members, 4 rifles for Gen G. A dash in, but something, he's been surrounded. Lakia tries to push him, but something's just waiting for that opportunity. And that allows the rest of PaperX to try to swarm the site. Munchkin and Meteor holding true in the back of sight, trying to isolate the 1v1s, but they can't get in. The no command will just go down at the back. Karon not able to res as Munchkin eventually gets taken out. A 3v1. Karon, the rookie star, quiet in the first map. Can he find an opening in the second? Gets pinked, uses that against him, isolates one. Ready for another, goes for the repeat, but can't find Forsaken, already waiting wide away from the corner.
Well, tempo of this match certainly feels very aggressive for both teams. You wouldn't think so without a duelist on the side of Gen G, but they're happy to try to take space. They're trying to catch PaperX, you know, over-aggressing onto those orb touches. Munchkin's been aggressive on them earlier. This time, it's going to be Lakia who goes for
Well,
it.
yeah, what
I
the
don't know how someone wins that battle, but
going on?
then something peeks an angle. There's 2 players at Gen G there. He gets taken down. But on the other side, the trades are much better for PaperX when they swing around towards the box. Able to get some nice kills, able to lock it down, but it's been very chaotic so far. Obviously, we haven't seen Icebox from PaperX in quite some time. This push out Forsaken, good for 1, and out we go. Munchkin is nuts. How is he always so good with these guns? He's one taps.
Guys, to hit that like,
right? There's something about him.
share and
Turns
subscribe
that switch
button.
on. Tries to stabilize a 4v4. Texture will recover that weapon now, and that could be the deal breaker. But no, Jing just shuts down right away. And Gen G, despite having a 3-1 lead, of course the econ very low. Munchkin gets the kill from afar as we see extra damage coming in from Karon with the right click. Now just trying to retake some space, but with the rifle recovered. When does Gen G call for the save? Try to bank up some econ once again. He's ready for it. Sees the leg, and he will swing right back, trying to clear both corners at the same time. That might be the opening they needed. Karon eventually goes down. Munchkin, does he get the call that someone's close? Might have caught a glimpse of him. And
What do you think, chat? क्या decide round होगा यहाँ पे? In my opinion, by मुझे नहीं लगता decide round होगा, but it's kind of भी है ना, हो भी सकता है. ऐसा आप कह भी सकते हो.
Munchkin just wants to take away the weapons one last time. The Divide will secure the round. 2-3 for PaperX.
I mean, what a round for Munchkin, though. Yeah, you get the win as PaperX, but you don't get much else. Lose a lot of players. In fact, Divide even goes down to the spike there at the end, so this is a great opener. But Munchkin's just so good. That's a nasty shot. Jing there using that wall to get up top. Just barely. They're able to get through it. Jing, when they used to play this map 2 years ago, was playing on the Sage a lot, so kind of going back into that comfort pick here for PaperX. No Divide on Chamber. I was kind of curious to see if we were going to get to see a repeat of it, but certainly in this current meta, Killjoy able to claim so much space, especially on your defender side. Keep so much information under your controls. Meteor, I mean the Killjoy on the B site, be tasked with that.
Holding with that util that allows Gen G to go for their defaults once again. Push out A, take the orb, and immediately they'll reset to mid this time for a fast rotate to either site. Texture holding A with the op. Swimming the nano swarms. And And the null command comes through though, so it's not going to be allowing the Killjoy to hold on to the site any longer. Meteor actually backs out just to hold an angle, sees the gun barrel. The spike will get planted, but it's going to be Gen.G, who already has so much space and a numbers advantage at 4v3. Now the alarm bot goes off. They know that they're still bouncing around the entry from green into the site. Yellow not cleared yet for Gen.G. All of them grouped up. The paranoia goes all the way through. Should have hit something, but they can't find him right around the edge just yet. And Meteor, he's still running and gunning when he swings around. Something will barely get that kill with 28 HP. The snake bite clears it right at the end of the pit, but it's right up against the wall. The spike should be easy to spam through. Little Bro tries to go for it, and Lakia swings out to assist the Little Bro, and it's going to be Wingman going for the defuse once again, 4-2.
I mean, so much damage done on the way in by PRX. They don't have much for this post plant, so they're going to send Devi on alert. He actually does find a kill, but by the time he gets there, the pit's already in. What are you going to do against this? And it makes it so challenging for them. Okay, you get the 1-for-1 trade earlier. Meteor, great positioning, great footwork. And then Devi feels like he has to go for it. Had the lockdown, didn't really have time to commit it. Able to hold on is Gen.G, finding their 4th round win. Now you've got a ton of ults available for PRX. Going to set up for kind of a stabilization, seeing if they can maybe get that lockdown into play right around the corner. Texture pitching for that belt player.
And the jump peaks trying to come in for Jing. Not sure if they quite spotted him clearly just yet. Might have gotten a ping on the mini-map. And at the end of the day, not able to take too much space. It's going to be the null command used as well, and Munchkin actually moves away. They're just, they're trying to just empty a site and see if they bite on the side of PRX. Lakia hiding by the smoke. He catches the side of the blade, sir. Lakia wants none of that from something. We see one of his debut highlights here on Icebox itself. Munchkin ready with a flash drive and the Dizzy. The double flash is being prepared. Can they clear out the lockdown? The lineup isn't going to land, and it should just be able to clear that lockdown out. But still, so much utility used by PRX. Gen.G will respect it. Paranoia early to retake the site. Something should be wary of this. The wingman clears the corner, and Lakia swinging around already. Gets 1 kill off the top of Nest, and that's the forward position for PRX cleared out. Forsaken now wrapping around. They want to protect the pit, and it's going to be an all-out brawl right outside the pit as we see Gen.G continuing to get the kills. Forsaken not able to pick up an upgrade to the weapon. Only Mind Freak left, spiked down outside of his comfort zone. And it will be defended by all 3 members of Gen.G. Hail Mary push out as the pit goes down, trying to recover, trying to isolate the members. But Lakia is still around the corner, no time left. And it will be the round for Gen.G as Mind Freak will get a consolation kill onto Lakia.
It's everything in the kitchen sink thrown in this round by PRX. And they still can't get over the line. They still can't get that win. Perfect placement on that fragment by Munchkin on the lockdown. That's a tough one to get sometimes.
Hello there. Why?
It's only a small circle that the fragment can clear just by itself on that lockdown that's right next to where it lands. So really nicely done by him to get that, having just a phenomenal map for Gen.G is Munchkin in so many different ways. Setting him up really nicely there. And certainly Alex trying to get them back on track. But with all those ultimates used there, Will, now you start to worry about PRX.
Interesting match going on.
You feel like you've got that opportunity. You can get that down. You can use that tunnel can't get cleared. So what? You have the Blade Storm. You have everything you need to get a thrifty win. But it doesn't come through. Gen.G's just too good right now, controlling the edges. I think Forsaken gets a little greedy, trying to go for that rifle up on top of Nest there. I mean, I get why he did it, but that costs him, maybe
match
it's the
is
same for just
going
playing
to
the pin
be
at that point. Make sure you get the win. Yeah, thought he had a moment, but of course, I mean, this is something that people are so good at in the first map on Lotus, was recognizing that Gen.G will also never let go of the pedal once the fight starts. The train's always continuing to flow in. But as you mentioned, the ult's gone, but it's going to be a force up into the rifles. Only a Sheriff for Forsaken on the side of PRX. Meanwhile, Charon still happy to pick up the judge here, as we've seen that PRX is going to keep up the pace to 11. Really push the sights in. That's going to be the trap play set up here on green. Mosh used to push it back, allows Charon to set up close by the door. Forsaken caught a glimpse of it on that jump, but not quite the weapon just yet. It's just going to be holding that angle. Actually, he's going to try to push it.
Oh no,
so
the pop
dangerous.
flash.
Okay.
weapon sound as well. So gets the information he wants. Meanwhile, Mindfreak was already all the way up 2. Meteor takes a bit of a hit. Divide there. They didn't quite suspect 2 members in mid already. Munchkin wanted to get him on the exit. And that gives PayPRX the idea to try to push back up. Meteor's wise to it though.
5v2 5 मुझे लग रहा है
Going under 2.
भाई जनजी जीत जाएगी
Tube as well. PayPRX, they're continuing to keep control of mid.
PRX तो भाई पूरी फुटी पड़ी है भाई इसका यार
On the side of yellow.
छुकी पड़ी है
by Jing.
लगी पड़ी है guys PRX की लगी पड़ी है
Have a thrash, so you're a real big piece of this puzzle.
Well,
never mind.
Say that the Cassicker strikes, and he'll go down without much of a fight. And PayPRX now have control of this site, but Meteor trying to defend his own lockdown with his life. Can anyone get here to make sure that it's going to be PayPRX trapped into this texture? Will clear the enemies, but something pushes out just in time. Kitchen taken over by Devon.
वाह काफी इंटरेस्टिंग मैच चल तो रहा है
but he's still going to go for it. Already
this match is gonna be very interesting
up top. Doesn't catch anybody else up top either, and Divide will swing out on a timing. Take texture with a headshot. And
What
going to
a
be
match.
The operator in something's hands.
Yeah, showing us quite a different look after this. Putting some mid pressure for
guys stream को like करें channel को subscribe करें ना भूलें
frag there on the Divide after he got the kill on a Munchkin, but it's a good little bait and switch there with that lockdown, knowing that the operator is there to cover it. Meteor aware that they're going to have to try to push that angle.
subscribe and follow.
Take a couple down with him, but at the end of the day, the numbers advantage too strong. Not exactly sure what happened with Lakia behind yellow, but he got taken out quickly by Mindfreak.
The match is very interesting.
That was taken down, and immediately counter timeout for Gen.G. Yeah, let's see if they can reassess what's going on. I'm pretty curious about this. What they see that they didn't like in that round, maybe it's the mid control stuff where they tried to challenge it.
It has to be something along those lines, right? It's just about the recognition of the potential trades, perhaps getting, maybe just too drawn out by PayPRX's initiative around mid. I mean, of course, if you can fully control mid, it's a great area here in Icebox, but generally, oftentimes, it's one of the least looked upon areas because it's so hard to get full control, right? If you can still hold on to Kitchen, something like that, on the defense, Gen.G might be happy enough for that. So just seeing, perhaps talking about not getting wrapped up in the tempo of PayPRX.
Yeah, there's so many angles you got to worry about there. And PayPRX didn't really invest much in the way of smokes to cover those angles. They just kind of took that space and worked with it because they're just that confident, that good. That everybody's going to be kind of holding the proper space. Divide tries to push up too, but Meteor so stalwart in his defense time and time again on this Killjoy. Now something going to be with the operator of his own. He sure hits a challenge off that snake bite.
I think a lot more health damage.
Okay, Jin can heal.
Hey, that's true. That armor gone forever, though. We'll see. It's going to be Sheriff's nonetheless. So Gen.G is just going to have to look for headshots. This is all really, once again, a trap play. We've seen Gen.G rely on this every now and then if they want to throw a curveball. They're actually just going to try to swing out. They don't want to let PayPRX approach. They know PayPRX would check the corners, but they won't find the kills. And it's an attempt from Gen.G, but it's going to fall flat as there is the aggro drawn by something. Great teamwork from PayPRX.
Guys, you are not liking the stream, guys. Tap the screen and tap for a few seconds and press the screen and you will see the like button, or you can press the 3 vertical dots in your screen to like the stream. Also guys, subscribe.
Oh my gosh. Attempted the 3K. Attempted it for sure.
Why not, right? Like, you might as well go big or go home there. You're probably dead eventually.
Yeah.
See if you can just take away from PayPRX as much as possible. But change an angle there or something. And the player on his left switched over to the right with the bait, setting up Forsaken. That second kill, really nicely done by PayPRX, but now operator invested for texture again. A couple half armors here and there. Thrash still going to be in Lakia's pocket. Forsaken has a null command though, so we'll see exactly how PayPRX wants to play this.
Absorb to make sure that anyone on pipes are not going to be able to peek out too easily. The 0 point should tag Lakia as well. So in a little bit of trouble. No command immediately to make sure that there is no utility for backup. And Lakia trying to make sure he goes for the anti-flash. They actually just don't check it up top. Munchkin draws the aggro first, and it's going to be 3 members down on the side of PayPRX. Gen.G only taking damage on the side of their Gecko. So that takes away the thrash, but it's going to be enough for the just going to hold near boiler, near mid. Make sure that they're ready for a flood on either side.
Thrash is going to be used to check mid, and it's not going to find anything, so right back towards Lakia's hands it will go. Just Devi, the lone lurker, all four other members of PaperX.
Oh, this angle.
Yeah, Texture kind of aware that something loves to swing out wide here on yellow. We see it all the time.
Texture's waiting for it, but he won't find the kill just yet. So we'll get pressure with the fragment as well. Now the spike absolutely getting planted with the pit as well. What's the answer? Is there still a lurk from Devi on the A side? See if that finds a good timing on the side of PaperX. Meteor sitting in the pit, waiting for his teammates to pressure everyone else out. As Karon has eyes on the Killjoy, kept him locked up in mid. And now Gen G, they go for the retake. The Thrash comes out, trying to funnel everybody out of the pit. It's going to go land with the Paranoia out as well. Did they even hear the defuse with the Paranoia? Not quite sure. And now it's going to be PaperX who has to flood the pit itself, but it's going to be the defuse that already goes through. Not aware of the half being done. PaperX lose absolute control of their own Viper's pit.
What I'm curious about here for PaperX is the whole time Devi is just watching from spawn down mid to see, if there's any lurks or any flanks or anything like that, but it's never even attempted. Util just so good for Gen G that they're able to clear the pit enough. Meteor just sneaking in there right behind that box, able to take a little extra space just in case when those taps start coming through that he's able to play from an unexpected angle. But PaperX there showing a little bit of some of that rust, some of that lack of coordination. With Jing coming back into the roster, Karon, oh boy, it's gonna be a lot. And they check the corner, but not quickly enough as Karon gets two, and that should be enough to slow things down. Paranoia keeps Jing at bay. Lakia already under two. Wingman clearing close, but Texture goes down from afar. Mindfreak will equalize the numbers. Meteor picks right up where Texture left off. And Jing has to heal. They should be aware. The resurrection comes in, and Devi tries to go for the trade, but it's a double stack. Lakia Munchkin will clean things up, leading 8-4 at the half for Gen G. Yeah, trying to use the res as bait there, but it doesn't fool them at all. Munchkin too crisp, too clean. Really solid half. A slightly different look for Gen G. Even not on the jet. Texture able to find a bit of impact. But really, this is like Munchkin and Meteor just shutting these rounds down. Lakia maybe not able to find as much impact as you'd like, but still good information control. Making sure they're checking mid, making sure that they're being a little bit more diligent about one of the few rounds that caused them a little bit of damage. Otherwise, you can see PaperX got a little bit dejected after that first half.
I mean, so many Stinger buys as well, right? But not much fruition from them. The idea is there. Sure, you have a stage wall as well. You can force the plant. You can cause some close quarters combat to go crazy. But not quite seeing it. Lots of parents bringing their kids to watch some Valorant as well, as Valorant's really been taking over kind of the younger generation here in Korea. Of course, with all the Korean teams playing tonight, a lot of fans out in the audience.
Yes, it was getting raucous in the crowd when Gen G started stringing those rounds together on Lotus. Those texture aces certainly lit them afire.
I mean, surely a round like that, everyone around the world, right? No matter who you're cheering for, some good Valorant. But Lotus, both teams really swinging at it, whereas this time, PaperX still have to find their footing again after the reset at the half. They're looking for the defense. Killjoy set up on A, triple stack on B. Could even go for the siege while in the old door, something like that. We'll see what type of control they want. 0 point at the ready for Forsaken from mid.
Well, it's going to be kind of very similar again. Both teams kind of mirroring each other in their pistol rounds. And just like we saw on Lotus, so Gen G going to get the site for free. They kind of turned the tables. Last time it was the defenders who were able to get this, but it's a much faster retake attempt here. PaperX already finding one. Munchkin down the trade from Mindfreak as well.
Yeah, the flank coming in very fast. Shinji wasn't quite ready for that. They were peeking out, but it seems that they were a little bit caught off guard. But a good angle from Texture. He'll still alive with 27 HP. Let's see if that's the deal breaker as Karon swinging around. He finds one. Lakia's going to pick up the kill. Goes for the trade there. And Jing, everyone solo. Mindfreak's actually going to pick up the headshot onto two. Lakia and Karon goes down. Texture still at 27 HP. Devi at 89. He gets spotted up top. Texture, hear the drop, but he can't land the headshot as there's a slight ramp down. And And Devay will get the kill and the defuse.
Yeah, as much as the beginning part of that round looked kind of similar, it was a much faster retake from PayPerX. As soon as that spike started going down, they were just like, all right, let's go. Let's do it. The late flank there from Mindfreak catches a ton of value. Once again, having a phenomenal map. I mean, even though they hasn't gone PayPerX's way so far, Mindfreak has been a shining star today. Devay able to just get it up there and just
Devay's been very calm today. It's all been yips and uh-huhs and yeah, all the way through on the replays. Obviously, I mean, not too much to cheer for yet for PayPerX. They got close but no cigar on map 1. And now, quite a few rounds to string together if they want to get back the lead on Icebox.
No force buy from Genji. So things kind of looking a little bit more Munchkin, these tricky positions. Are they going to be accounted for? He gets hit through the grate. Yeah, the grate of that fence.
Just barely stays alive. Had to go for the left clicks as the right clicks also would have just hit the grate as well. But it's going to be Mindfreak. Swings out, well aware of the lurk in from Meteor. And Wingman not even going to get the plan. And it looks like Genji perhaps losing a lot of that value. Texture will pick up a kill. Mindfreak not quite aware of Karon's position. Tries to regain a bit of an angle. Texture gets another at long range around the point. That is the swing out from Karon. He waited so patiently. And he's able to try to hold control of the site. And Texture with 30 on the Sheriff makes the crowd go wild once again after a few quiet rounds.
It's brutal. PayPerX just, I noticed that on the other side of the coin, they were being a little bit more diligent about checking for some of those cheeky positions that Munchkin might take. Like, if you give up A space early, you know, we saw this at Masters Madrid where Munchkin would push right towards your nest and push underneath the belt. And this time around, he hides a position that does a ton of damage, but the other end, so Sheriff singing their song for Meteor and Texture, doing a ton of damage, and yeah, just sneaky positions, something that Genji has been so good at on this map, using just those little micro timings to get ahead of your information, and it costs dearly for PayPerX. We're now in Sheriffs of their own, couple rifles for Genji, Spectre and a Bulldog as well. So now PayPerX just trying to see if they can guess correctly where this is going to go. Genji's been very quiet, very slow.
Stack is there on the Sheriffs, like you mentioned. 3 already on Heaven, 2 high boiler. They should be a quick backup as well. Flash drives at the ready, so is the frag when the toxic screen comes down. They were waiting for this moment. Divine picks off 1, and Genji, they might have to reconsider things as Wingman will go in for the plan. But is that just enough? No luck, you can't get the spray down through the toxic screen. Something will pick off the kill. Now Nana Swarms at the ready, but PayPerX, they're ready to push things out. It's going to be the Cloudburst, try to draw in a reaction. There's the Sage Wall, they have to break that quickly, but the swing of the wide swing, something, once again the crosshair magnet works its magic, and that's all the time Forsaken needs for the defuse. PayPerX answer right back with a thrifty.
Ah yes, we're right back to kickoff. Both teams just kind of thrifting each other all over the place. I mean, this again, these timed retakes from PayPerX, where they're going to wait for you to start getting into position, and that's when they strike. And then it makes it so difficult to recover because they're happy to play these scrappy games. They're happy to play like trust in your own instincts, trust in your own reaction type gameplay. A lot of other teams are thrown off by it. Let's see, this time, Genji's done a pretty good job overall handling it, but this time it does get the better of them with those guns. So now Thrash is going to be used early by Lakia. And it does get the detain onto Mindfreak. He has no help.
Yeah, they're trying to chase through with the Shrouded Step as well, and Texture barely lands in time to get that kill. Mindfreak, all he could do was turn around and crawl away for his life, crying for help. But help was too far. Now Mosh at the ready, so is the Paranoia. It's a brutal trade, though. 2 for 2. Now from the shadows, they recognize that everyone is here. Meteor already through 2. Does he sense anyone right under him? Don't think they would have heard him just yet. It's going to be, I look at the positions. I mean, Lakia holding way deep in attacker spawn. And Meteor trying to hold on to mid. Now hasn't quite checked out the window just yet. Forsaken and him. They will, okay, now they're aware of each other. Lakia catches 1. The 0 point, meanwhile, pushes Meteor away from Kitchen. And Forsaken now, he has to find the remaining members. He has to clear them out. He gets 1 onto Lakia. He's looking up above 2. But now with Texture already out of the site, Meteor, no reason to rush in. They're just going to force him away from the spike.
Forsaken gonna try area. We'll get there. The real question is, he's going to be hunted down. Still a little bit of time. He's coming down for Gen G. Shots ring out. Forsaken knows the Meteor's over there. Knows that he has to be tucked behind that bridge. Gonna watch it. The turret coming out. No, not gonna be able to find the kill. I love what Gen G does on this round. First of all, they read that there's just gonna be potentially just a solo player holding down that B side. A lot of attention being paid towards A by PRX so far. So they're able to use that thrash to make sure, the thrash to get that pick. And then it's just, they read the rest of the map so incredibly well. They're trading, and then they see, oh, there's only two. We have an Omenal. Over to A we go. And then from there, there's just no hope for PRX. They're trying to do what they can, but
holds on to the entire map, right? Just to spread out. Normally, we kind of speak against that, obviously trying to stick to numbers, but just understanding how much the PRX would have to clear to approach the retake. Now Gen G pressuring A site once again, and this time PRX, it's a reactionary round. They try to go for a spread out 2-on-2 default. Now scrambling towards A. Gen G though, no lurk, just the turret to watch their flank. So they don't have too many options to rotate out no matter how much time is left. Just going to be a set execute, but an immediate clearance of all the utility makes him think twice about this one. The paranoia until now Texture to dive in with the Shrouded Step. He's already under, but he gets spotted. The slow arm keeps him tied up. He will go for the trade for Forsaken with a quick double, and another from Devi and Jing each. It's going to be a perfect defense from PRX as they hold on to 3 members.
Well, now you can see kind of part of the game plan here for PRX. Understanding, yes, we talked about the fact that they're really good at finding these timings when Gen G wants to make their executes and shutting them down. You're seeing it here again. But part of that is also because of the fact there's no jet. It makes it a lot harder for Gen G to take space here. And PRX has recognized that. And they're shutting it down. They're hitting them at the point of attack, knowing that Gen G has to rely on those util dumps. You called it. They're clearing a lot of that utility when it comes out and sidestepping it, taking really good angles, really good crossfires, making it really tricky for Gen G. So Gen G may want to start thinking more about this B site, more about using some of their utility to clear these angles. See if they can get a plant down. Divide does find one towards mid. The lurking Meteor accounting for.
Yeah, Lock-in took a hit through his own Dizzy as well. Forsaken still holding on. Wasn't quite ready for Texture to swing out, but he will get out safely. Jake finds the lurking Munchkin. PRX starting to get a pulse onto the opponents and their abilities to rotate and lurk. Now,
Stuck in that garage area.
yeah, not much to do on this round. Just trying to see if the opponents approach them for a couple cheeky kills like that.
Well, they're just trying to dodge all that fire, but eventually Jing is going to find him. Looking it down, only on Texture. Did pick up a Phantom in the midst of all of this. 61 HP. Not looking ideal, and it turns just in the last second. Mind Freak good for the final kill. It's PRX up to 8, starting to catch up towards Gen G.
Well, we've seen this before already tonight. I'll see if PRX can make the same magic happen. We've had a lot of PRX fans visiting Seoul for their games even since last year, trying to get that side of the arena, bearing up a little bit of that energy, get them something to cheer for, as they're now only 2 rounds away to tie things up, trying to make this go to a map 3 unbind.
Look at that green bar of ultimates.
Yep.
That's so scary now as Gen G, you finally get into a buy round. There's so much available. They're just going to go.
Oh, it's the wall up. I've been waiting for something like this. PRX, there's never just a clean game of Siege. It's always something tricky, and it's just a push out across the entire map. This Gen G just dropped like flies, all near their spawn, never able to leave home. And PRX shuts the door in front of them.
Yeah, only have to use one ult there. That's the res. You get your gun back. You keep your economy great for PRX.
I mean, they can do the same thing with the null command this time. Res him up again.
Exactly. Why not? You got reses for days as PRX. I mean, it's just crazy what they do sometimes, man. I mean, I'm just like trying to like talk about what happened previously, and I'm like, forget it. They're just gonna rush them.
I mean, yeah, this is just a tempo change, right? Catches Gen G entirely off guard. I mean, probably something that Gen G thought about at the start of the map, but the fact that it has not happened at all the way up to round 19, makes them a little lax, and that's when PRX strikes. The boost up, the elevator.
It's just such, great timing, great thought processes that PRX is able to figure out. I mean, their thought processes, their mindset, they're so unflappable, is PaperX, that they're, you know, they just kind of, they're still in the game and they're not getting overheated, you know, in the traditional sense where they're, you know, starting to push. They find the right timings for these pushes. They can make them work because of how good they are. They've got these plays in the back pocket that can start to change the momentum without needing a timeout or anything like that. These ideas that Forsaken, typically the IGL is going to be calling some of the bigger idea picture plays, has in his mind. They've worked in a short amount of time. They haven't had a ton of time to practice Icebox, just a couple days.
Yeah, and it's just going to be the early pit as well this time. Right outside of Pipes, doesn't want to risk that pit getting caught off guard just a little bit, so making sure that he denies the entry point, gets the high-low as well, and that allows Mindfreak to set up the toxic screen for his teammates here, and it looks like there's a cheeky Sage wall going on somewhere near the B nest.
Everybody's here.
Oh, the flash gets a big tag. Now just going to be a hold here onto the B site. Now with the pit up in A, unless Gen G takes over some part of mid for a pinch, not going to have too many options.
Yeah, they're trying to get to the corner so they can get the Vipers pinned down. The crowd instead gets spotted before the flash. A bit of a mismatch. This is not something we used to see from Gen G in the beginning of the year. But now with the Omen in the mix, they haven't quite cleaned up the timings just yet. And PaperX will punish that mistake like there's no tomorrow. Wingman trying to get the tab, but it's just way too many members. Locky will do his best something impersonation, but it doesn't end with a kill. As we see Meteor, last one alive, not able to land it onto Jake. It's just, right now, PaperX is starting to read the map really, really nicely, starting to understand where, you know, Gen G isn't having success on A, so they're going to start moving their attention over the Vipers. Mid helps, of course. That gives you a lot of control over that space, and they use it nicely, but Gen G never really shows any other look. They're able to just kind of plant their feet here. The flash came just a little bit too late, perhaps, from Munchkin, and Texture wasn't able to get through that from the shadows correctly in time, or something it got a glimpse of him as he got flashed, was able to get the kill. So you also maybe seeing a little bit of this new comp change for Gen G, kind of showing a little bit of polish that is lacking. Oh my god.
Something just looking for an early pick. Now PaperX, they should be wary of this. They've already pushed him out of B with the 0 point. Something won't quite finish a kill here. Caron down to 5 HP. As Gen G, they will still relentlessly try to go forward with this. Wingman getting spammed through the wall. He cannot finish the plan. The lockdown already committed from Gen G, but PaperX has slowed down the onslaught. And Gen G, they will have to recover the spike and still battle through this retake, along with a lockdown, a potential no command. Everything in the arsenal, PaperX, and it's going to be the classic aggro draw as Forsaken gets the trade, swings out for a third, and he goes for a fourth, and that is PaperX taking over the lead for the first time here on Icebox.
I just love the quickness that PaperX makes decisions to do things. You know, they stick around a little bit for the lockdown. They don't have the fragment to clear it, so they're just looking for a few picks and other things. They get those, they back off. As soon as it's done, it's down. You know, it's just going to be something charging through Forsaken immediately, holding another angle off the different direction. Protocols there so good for PaperX on this retake. Everybody's looking where they need to, doing the right things at the right time. Don't even have to invest that counter lockdown that you mentioned, Will. They were able to hold on to it, so they've still got it. They've still got a no command. Something's got a blade storm. Maybe if he wants to switch to an outlaw. Surprise. Haven't seen one here. All this extra money, but you don't need it when you're that good.
Yeah, might have even heard that one. Texture trying to scout it out, but something just too good on the swing. Now the flash used for Forsaken to try to put extra pressure onto Garage. Gen G has to keep clearing all of that. Meteor tries to take it upon himself to open the map a bit further in mid, but it's not there, so they continue pushing. Green, something still here. Whiffs on that first shot, not able to stabilize. Now a 2v3 for Gen G. You've still got the Thrash. You've still got the Dizzy. One more flash drive as well. They do have the tools. If they can catch Divide here in mid, if he can pick up that kill, and Divide knows, as long as I stay alive, the backup's there. Munchkin takes a lot of hits for his trouble.
Yeah, and they're going to try to split the map, see if they can confuse PaperX, but PaperX is fully committed towards A, especially with that knife there. That's got to be your thought that it's going to was going to be the round when you lose that lockdown, that maybe Gen G is going to be able to hang on, but PaperX's gunplay so on point. Something now getting aggressive on B, something we haven't seen from PaperX yet. Now they're starting to get really deep into their playbook. You're starting to see why they like this map. This defender side has been nearly flawless for them. Just a couple rounds dropped. Now that Operator is in hand, Bladestorm in the back, still the lockdown, the no command available. Forsaken have a whale of a map, both KOs really showing up, especially on their defender side. Gonna leave Jake, lone man on A with some of that KJ utility. Oh, excuse me, I just saw something now.
Oh yeah, doubled up.
I didn't see that earlier. He was buried underneath Jing's icon on the map.
I mean, they are oftentimes all stacked up against each other, waiting for the trades. So we shall see. Lockdown and no command still in the pockets of PaperX. Like you mentioned, something now peeking out. Jing covering him for any peeks out from Belt. So A side secure for PaperX. The solid 2-1-2 default. As it's just going to Forsaken. Going for a jiggle. Now calls for backup. Vi still watching mid for the team. The Poison Cloud not activated yet from Charon.
Util dump coming through. Still have that Viper's pit. Yeah, let's see if they can get it down this time. Buy a little bit of extra space. Mind Freak reaggressing.
Yeah, and he's trying to hold close. He doesn't want this pit to come up. He wants to strike when the iron is hot. And he'll try to swing out. They're trying to make sure that Gen G dumps all their util before they're able to do anything. Forsaken trying to go for a long range trade. But it's going to be Gen G who still just wins out. Hit the numbers. More angles covered. The smoke eventually dissipates. There is the jump up onto the wall. Wallachia eventually gets the spike down. Now something trying to join Jing in the verticality. As we see up from the shadows from Texture. Lands all the way behind PaperX, and they have to jump into the smokes as Wallachia sprays down for 2. It's all up to something, and with the Bladestorm, it's going to be so tough to try to clear this Viper's pin. Skirts around, and Charon will answer back. We still go yet another round.
Okay. I mean, again, these cheeky positions, both teams just finding these nooks to hide in. This time they're going to use a smoke to cover Lakia's spot. Devi's just bunny hopping through there. Jing's like, okay, this is safe. I'm just going to drop down. And all of a sudden, has 2 members down. Pushing through on the site here. Charon, find that angle. Able to get that trade. Big part of Gen G's gameplay is other teams have been talking about it in some of their interviews. When you face Gen G, is that it feels like there's always another player there. There's always that trade. Everybody's working off each other so well. It's a big part of why they've been as successful as they have. Now they're using a lot of utility. Starting to take some space. Something not going to invest. Not quite enough money in the bank. Yes. Well, they could have done it, but they didn't. They didn't opt to. I really at it.
Choosing the mobility, it seems, throughout this entire map. It's going to be the site execute once again. PaperX, are they ready for the 5 stack? It looks like it's slow orb keeping them at bay. The null command used as well. They still have a lockdown for a potential retake or another pushback out that gives Mind Freak the opportunity now to cover for mid. He's checking for the rotation. They don't see anything yet. A ping comes out on the B side for Gen G. They have all the intention to rotate over. Now with the Poison Cloud going up, Mind Freak, it's his job to hold the line. 1 Nano Swarm to disrupt any type of plant. The null command coming out, but it's not going to be catching the Killjoy just yet. Forsaken takes down the KO, and Mind Freak just trying to drag this fight out as long as possible. A wide swing from Texture, but Jing gets yet another kill. It's going to be the long range hold from something, and now it's all down to Texture as Jing takes him down. 13-11 once again, but on the other side is PaperX. They finally answer for their own nightmares in Icebox, pick up a victory, and take us on to Vine.
And on Icebox of all maps, I mean, I think PaperX, just trying to limit test a little bit here on this map, just seeing what they're truly capable of. And yeah, the attacker side has some things to be desired, but this defender side was nearly immaculate. I mean, so many good decisions, so much disruption of Gen G's timing on their executes, things like that made it really, really tough. And it seemed like every time that Gen G maybe had finally found a little bit of extra idea, it was countered the next round by PaperX.
Well, PaperX, after 8 bans in Icebox in 2024, the first time they pick it, they'll bring home the victory. Let's take it to the desk to break down how it all went down.
How it all went down, we almost thought it was over. We almost thought it was going to be a 2-0, and then PaperX finally starts showing some of their crazy harebrained ideas and how much anti-shredding that they did, especially on the defender side. And yes, this is the PaperX bundle. Also buy the Gen G bundle. Anyway, we're going to
we wanted. Just give it to these two teams. We wanted to see as much as humanly possible. Things look a lot rougher than anticipated, I think, going into that icebox. For Gen G struggling, a minor attack chance and trying to extend that into that overtime, but just barely falling shy of the mark there. Felt like a little bit of a, I don't know, just a change up. And I do question a little bit now, Texture getting shifted over onto the zone. It's the first time that he's ever played, first time he's ever played any controller, mind you, in his career. He just has never done that before. And while I think overall it was okay, having the impact from him on a duelist was something that felt like it was very much lacking.
They need that dive capability, right? Especially on the attacking side. But on defense, they were quite able to kind of, disturb PaperX's hits very, very often. Every time PaperX tries to dive right in, you got something going through. He's right up there. Texture is able to throw out the paranoia, Lakia with the Gecko Dizzy, of course. And it's just that much more difficult for PaperX on the attacking half. That's why they ended in a 4 and 8. And there were so many of these moments where sometimes PaperX were just trying to rush in, going with that aggression, but corners weren't quite checked. It's only down to the second half where, yes, Gen G were still able to come up with some pretty good rounds. They actually won the subsequent round after the pistol. However,
They dropped it immediately.
credit to PaperX. I think what was cool is, you started to see some of these set plays, some of these ideas where Jing makes